welcome in everybody. Happy Sunday evening to you. Sunday evening for me. I know for some people it is already Monday morning. So I hope you're doing well in the future. Good to see everybody. Really nice to see everybody here this evening. Let me start out by giving some thanks to those who followed me off stream. That was tough. Thank you for changing the light color. Yes, and that is something I implemented during yesterday's stream, was you can actually change the color of the lighting behind me now. If you want to know what those commands are, type in _commands, and that'll give you a link that you can click on to see all the new things. What's up, Dwarven Egg? How you doing, man? Welcome in. Rocket Rick, thank you so much for the follow off stream yesterday. Jimbo Fox actually came in with a follow 7 hours ago, and Sandman, who's loaded in already to fly along with us. Sandman, thank you so much for that follow 12 minutes ago. I appreciate that. So welcome in everybody. Yes, I'm gonna ditch the green screen for a little while now and let y'all play around with the lights behind me. Again, if you want to know what the commands are, type in !commands, and that'll give you all the different things that are interactive with the lights behind me. Raid, subs, bits, and several other things will also make the lights do different things. Sandman, thank you so much for that follow a little while ago and for flying along with us. From Montreal, Quebec, welcome in. I am from South Carolina in the United States. Good to have you with us. I'm going to scroll back up to the top of chat, welcome everybody in, and then we'll switch to the PC scene. I'll show you our flight plan for today, and then we'll get going.
What's our vector, Victor?
And then we'll get going. This is what I always do. I always start at the top of chat, welcome everyone in the order that they arrived, and then we'll go from there. So Infinite Fireman is almost always first in chat, and he was again today. Infinite Fireman, welcome in. He is one of my right hand men in helping with creating everything here to make the stream and the virtual airline work almost seamlessly. There's Infinite Fireman. Infinite Fireman is also a streamer. Go give him a follow. Uncle B Sim Channel was second in chat. Uncle B Sim Channel, another amazing flight sim streamer, good friend of the community. And Uncle B is who I wake up to most mornings whenever he's streaming. Welcome in, Uncle B. Good to see you also. Uncle B did a almost an 11-hour, I think it was, stream yesterday. Really cool. Awesome. Anyways, I just enjoy Uncle B. Great guy. Nice to talk with. There's a shout out for Uncle B. Go give him a follow. Nova Stuff is also here. Nova Stuff was the voice of my Hawaii tour. We wrapped that up yesterday. Nova Stuff took a lot of time helping out with the flight plans and with the tours of what we were flying over. Welcome in, Nova Stuff. Good to see you, my friend. Fatty One Kenobi is here. Welcome in, Fatty. How you doing, man? And Oz Nomad. Oz is the voice of this tour. So you'll hear someone with an Australian accent. No, I'm not a ventriloquist. That is Oz Nomad, who has volunteered his time to create the flight plans and jump in on voice chat. Oz, I really thank you very, very much. Oz is a great guy. AZ Bubba's here. What's up, Bubba? Good to see you also. Bubba, remind me, I can't remember if you're a streamer or not. There's a shout out for you. Go follow AZ Bubba. Dwarven Egg Official is a streamer. Dwarven Egg is a really fun, high energy streamer. Great guy. He streams Grand Theft Auto and Microsoft Flight Simulator, primarily Microsoft Flight Simulator, and is a pilot also in real life as well. So go follow Dwarven Egg Official. Can't wait to meet Dwarven Egg at Flight Sim Expo later on this year, actually. So Sandman, welcome in. Once again, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for flying along. Also, Cheesy Poof. What's up, Cheesy? Good to see you also. Welcome back. Nuss is here. Welcome in, Nuss. Good to see you also. Good to see you, Nuss. Yes, you were second in chat. Captain Wotan, what's going on? Captain Wotan is another member of Parasox Air who's been flying a lot lately. Welcome in, Captain. Good to see you, my friend. Corporate Pilot Dad is also here. What's up, Corporate Pilot Dad? Good to see you. Corporate Pilot Dad is another streamer here on Twitch. Also does some things on YouTube. Really, really big on YouTube, actually. Corporate Pilot Dad is a been hanging around for a while here now on the channel. Good to see you, Corporate Pilot Dad. Always nice to have you hanging out with us. I don't see your name on here. Let me refresh this again. Or there it is. Sheesh, how did I miss that? There's a shout out for Corporate Pilot Dad. Go give him a follow. El Gusto, welcome in. El Gusto. Oh, what happened with someone changed my lights, but it didn't do everything like it was supposed to. That's weird. Sorry about that. El Gusto, how are you doing? Good to see you also. Welcome in, El Gusto. Good to see you again. And Planet Neutral. What's up, Planet Neutral? How are you doing, man? Planet Neutral is another streamer, great guy. Known Planet Neutral for a while now. Really enjoy Planet Neutral streams. Go give Planet Neutral a follow. Check him out. Really, really great guy. Flight Sim Thunderbird Trial is here. What's up, Trial? How are you doing? Spent some time on voice chat with Trial and several other people yesterday, trying to help him out with setting up FS Hub for Parasox Air. Welcome in, Trial. Trial is one of the camera operators for the Flight Sim Thunderbirds. I am Thunderbird number 8 of the Flight Sim Thunderbirds, the narrator. And there's a shout out for the Flight Sim Thunderbirds. Let's see here. Viper Strike, what's up, dude? Viper Strike flew the DC-3 earlier today from Zagreb to Athens. Viper Strike is an amazing flight sim streamer. And Viper Strike, holy crap, Viper Strike flies a lot. Viper Strike is almost always one of the top pilots in flights flown for the month on FS Hub, which is a hub where virtual airlines all congregate together. But go give Viper Strike a follow. He's an amazing streamer, puts a lot of time into his streams. Great guy. Now, you didn't break it. Sometimes it just glitches. No worries, man. Cowbell Cody firing up the sim. Awesome, man. Do it. Good to see you, Cowbell Cody. Welcome in. Cowbell Cody, another friend of the community here as well. Your first year stream. What? I thought you'd been streaming longer than that, Planet Neutral. Congratulations. 1 week from today, Planet Neutral will be doing a 1 year stream anniversary. Welcome in, Beelzy. Welcome in, Beelzy. Beelzy is another streamer here on Twitch, and sorry about that. Talking about getting into flight sim. Also, can't wait for you to get into flight sim. Scoop, what's up? HRG Scoop, another friend of the community here. Another amazing individual. Welcome in, Scoop. Good to see you. And someone called the police. They're here. What's up, JP Navigator? Good to see you also. Yeah. Dwarven Egg, for sure, man. There's something you're missing. I'll be glad to help you with it, dude. No worries at all. Big Papa Polly is here also. JP Navigator, welcome in. Big Papa Polly, welcome in also. Let's see here. Who else? Mr. Shies. Mr. Shies is really the main manager of Parasox Air. If he doesn't know anything, if he doesn't know what you need on Parasox Air, you're probably not going to be able to get help. Welcome in, man. Good to see you, Mr. Shies. All right. I think it probably is Dwarven Egg, but that's okay. We'll get you sorted, man. All right, switch to the PC scene. I have welcomed everyone in. I'm really excited about tonight. And, you know, I like to be, my life in real life is an open book. And I like to be the same way here because oh shoot, not that. You never know what you say here on Twitch. Someone else may be going through the same thing. And you never know when you're helping someone with what you say. So I try to be an open book to everybody because if someone is struggling with what I'm struggling with, then I want to be able to help them out. Are you serious? I got a banned word. Who banned a word? Oh, Bubba, that is wrong. Okay, thank you, Bubba. All right, 5 minutes of no saying that word that Bubba just posted up there. So, let me say that I had a really hard reality check this week. So I had gotten overly excited about a certain thing. I'm not even going to say it, what it was related to, but I got really excited about a certain thing that I thought I was approaching, and reached out to somebody, asked them their advice on it, and got a swift kick in the privates that really, um, that really was a reality check for me, and I appreciate that. And so let me tell you, whenever you get discouraged about something, don't let it get you down. Don't get depressed. Look back from where you have come from and realize that you've come a long ways, and just look to the future and keep on working hard at whatever you're doing. Sandman, I see you. Wait a minute. I did see you. Sandman, are you on Southeast Asia server? I saw you earlier. Laura, is that Laura that did the, Kev, thank you for the sub, man. 13 months. Kev Sim Corner, I've known you for 13 months. Did I just say the word? I think I did. Good to see you, Kev. Happy to have you here. Yes, exactly, Raven. Good to see you, Raven. Also, good to see you, Raven. Glad to have you here also. Laura, thank you for the door knock troll, and good to see you also. All right, there we go. All right. So let me make sure. Sandman, are you on Southeast Asia server? Just to make sure. And then I'll show the flight plan for tonight, and we'll get this bad boy started up. So the flight plan, you weren't on Southeast Asia. Okay, good deal. Southeast Asia should fix it. Let me know if that fixes it for you. If it doesn't, we'll get it sorted out for you, man. I've got a command that'll help you with it as well. Skipper Jeff, how you doing? Glad to have you here. So, flight plan for tonight. We're going to be flying oh shoot, what territory is this? Go ahead, Oz. Welcome in, Oz.
Hey, morning, everyone. Yeah, it's the Northern Territory of Australia, where we're flying today. Making our way finally into Darwin, which is the capital city of the Northern Territory. Flying through some of the offshore islands and then into Darwin itself.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Captain Wotan, thank you for the Prime sub. Holy crap. And Kev Sim Corner, thank you for the sub also. I did say it. I did. Thank you so much for being here. Timer is reset. Thank you, Oz, for that. So the Northern Territory, there we go. Flying the Northern Territory today and ending up at Darwin. So if you guys are ready, once we get up in the air, we'll be flying a heading of 2-9er heading once we get up in the air. Jip, how you doing, man? How much money have I got for fuel? Got enough to cover it? I do. How you doing, Gypsness? Good to see you. You're nearly fully out of the woods, just a possible slight sign. Oh, awesome. Laura, I'm glad that you're getting better. I'm so glad to hear some good news for you. All right, I'm going to jump into the plane and get this bad boy fired up. So the first thing, set the part brake, make sure that I'm on the center tank. Fuel valve needs to be in the in position, turned on. Oh, Raven, yes, I don't disagree with you. You're welcome, Planet Neutral. It's difficult sometimes. So we got alternator and battery on, beacons on, fuel pump on. We're gonna go to full rich, let the fuel flow. Fuel pump off, back down to lean. Turn our avionics on. Crank it up. And then turn some lights on. And jump outside and check the controls really quick. Oh, did I say welcome? Sheesh. Okay, well, even if I didn't, I just said it again. There we go. Reset it. There we go. Okay, so aileron left, aileron right, we are good there. Elevator down, elevator up, we're good there. Everything feels nice and smooth. Rudder left, rudder right, and last but not least, we're gonna do a little flaps. The Crocs get a little nippy. Yeah, they might have been gnawing on my tires actually. Got to check for bite marks on the tires. Yes, LRM is on. It is on. Let me double check that. It was on earlier. And it is. Yep. Thank you. All right. Into the plane we go. So if you'd like to fly along with us, now's the perfect time to do it. We are at Yankee Mike Charlie November. And Southeast Asia server.
Just FYI, I don't know if it'll make much actual difference, but I've actually leaned a bit on the ground because it's nearly 30 degrees here today.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put some fuel in here. Okay, let's go, y'all. What rudder set? I have the Logitech G series. Once Flight Sim Expo rolls around, I'm hoping I can get my feet in some other rudder pedals and maybe get some that are a little bit heavier. Not that there's anything wrong with these, but they slide around horribly bad. Raven. Yeah, it's so easy to do that in the sim. Oh, I didn't realize they're frozen on blue and purple, aren't they? I didn't realize that. I think the next time someone types something in, it'll override it though and fix it. That's strange. That's the only, there we go. That's the only bad thing about the LifeX light bars is they are a little bit glitchy. Crosswinds rudder pedals. Nice. Thank you, Branding Iron. Good to see you also. Good to have you here. Laura, what's the snow situation looking like for you guys? Is that all over with now?
Show us those.
Hey, Infinite Fireman with the sock command. Thank you for that. My socks of the day. On the right foot, I've got my black and yellow striped socks. On the left foot, on the right foot, black and yellow. On the left foot, black and white striped socks. Those are my socks of the day. Oh yeah, Jip. I've been told to get some rubber bath mats and stuff too. But honestly, these pedals work great, but the center position sometimes, like the center position sometimes is hard to feel when I have my feet in the rudder pedals. So I'd like to find some that have more a more well-defined detent for the center position anyways. Oh, sure, Trial. Anytime. I know what you're trying to get me to do, and it's not going to happen. Yeah, like one of those mats that you put at your front door to tell people that you're glad that they're at your house. Exactly, one of those.
Scruffington, show us those.
Hey, Shotgun, what's up, dude? It has been a while. How are you, man? Good to see you. What is going on?
Hello? Is it me you're lurking for?
Hang on a minute, y'all. Thank you for that lurk. There we go. There we go. Hamo time, what's going on, Hamo time? Good to see you, and thank you for that. Thank you for that lurk. Hopefully it'll fix itself. There we go. Yeah, Kev Sim Corner. I'm gonna look at, oh good, welcome's done. Good deal. I'm gonna look at that as well. Classy, what's up, Classy? How are you doing, man? Sorry about that. I was trying to get my plane situated. My aircraft was kind of all over the place, but it was totally my fault. I forgot to set the barrow, which is my fault because I didn't follow the checklist. That's why pilots follow the checklist. But yes, I am looking at the Charlie pedals. But that's another reason why I'm excited. Sterlo is here. What's up, Sterlo? That's another reason I'm excited to go to Flight Sim Expo, is just to kind of check out some equipment, put my feet in it, and see what it, see how it feels. Welcome in, Sterlo. Sterlo Gaming is another streamer. Sterlo does a lot of American truck sim. Sterlo is from Australia and a good friend of the community. He rated us a couple streams ago, I think it was. And also, anyways, love hanging out on Sterlo's channel. Yeah, Shotgun, everything has gone really good, man. Really good to see you. Socks, you got robbed. Oh, you did get robbed. Sorry about that. Hey, Zan Jr., what's going on, man? Good to see you also. So my socks of the day, on the right foot, I've got my yellow and black striped socks. On the left foot, my white and black striped socks. Those, I went with the stripe theme today. Those are my stripes of the day. I mean, my socks of the day. Thank you. Gare Bear, what's up, Gare Bear? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you, Shotgun. I really need to adjust my sock cam, but I never think about it until I'm live and someone, posts a sock command. Hey, Rafa, good evening to you also. Good to see you as well. So let me see. I had a new member of the community here that was trying to jump in and fly along. Let me see. Sandman, did you make it in? They do kind of represent. They do kind of. They look similar. That's what I'm trying to say. They look similar, Uncle B. As you can see, a bunch of people flying along with us today. Hey, we got a helicopter. Heck yeah. Capastick is here as well. Ah, nice. Thank you. Thank you, Skipper Jeff is flying along with us as well. Man, this is awesome. Yeah, so Laura, you need to talk to them. Okay, good deal, Sam, man. I'm glad you made it. Laura, I have emailed them twice. I have tagged them on social media. Both of these socks are happy socks. They will not respond to me at all. They've kind of made me mad. I've said I wasn't going to mention their name on stream, but yeah, I love their socks. That's what I always wear. But they're about to upset me that they're not responding to any of my communications with them. I'm trying to get them to set up some sort of partnership with me, but just say no if you don't want to do it, right? Good deal, Sam, man. Welcome in, man. On my average airspeed, Shotgun, I'm going to try to make it between 95 and 100 knots. It will be my average airspeed. Armin, what's happening, Armin? How are you doing, man? What are some of my best practices for not losing socks in the dryer? So I have found out if you don't wash your socks, they won't get lost in the dryer because you don't have to dry them. That's my tip of the day. Crosswind Rudder said. Ammo time, thank you for that, Mario Death. Is that why I only have one of each pair? Exactly. Yeah, Laura, I've emailed corporate a couple times, and maybe I'm just emailing the wrong people. Maybe I'm saying the wrong things. But to my knowledge, I'm the only streamer that I've ever seen that has a dedicated sock cam. And I figure if I'm showing, people socks on stream, that at least they could sponsor me. And you know, all I asked for was like a pair of socks a month. Pair of socks, get it? A pair of socks a month, you know, in exchange for, you know, talking about their brand or whatever. But anyways, whatever. JP, you're leaving us to our flying. No problem at all, man. Hasta la vista, JP Navigator. Really good to see you, dude. Same with underwear, right, Dan? Yes. They get stiff after a while and you just throw them out, buy some more. But Laura, they have a literal, like a Happy Sock store. That's all they have. Yes, exactly, Skipper Jeff. A Socks of the Month Club, yes. Hey, what's up, Sky Command? How you doing, man? Welcome in. Sky Command is another awesome flight sim streamer, friend of the community here. If you don't have fun on Sky Command's channel, your fun is broke. Welcome in, Sky Command. Good to see you, my friend. So flying along with us today, we got Kev Sim Corner. We got Saint Soli. I think I'm saying that wrong because of that accent over the sea, but City Soli maybe. We got Skipper Jeff, Nova Stuff, Captain Wota, Infinite Fireman, Thin Pepper. Holy crap, a bunch of people. Verse Toss, Crunch, Oz. Right, exactly, Skipper Jeff. Chronico, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober.
Drunk Viper, thank you. Drunk Viper. Drunk Viking. Sorry about that. Drunk Viking, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for that follow.
Hello.
Yeah, so Laura, just and I'm not like, don't feel pressured to do that, Laura. But just sometime if you're in the store, if you know the people there, just say, look, I've got a guy who live streams to, you know, he's got 2,600 followers and he live streams and he has a sock cam and he's almost always wearing Happy Socks. How can, you know, who can he talk to about a possible sponsorship, or do you even do that? Something like that. Big Papa Polly is here. Tess, Jess. Man, there's so many people. They're just all jumbled in together. I know that this one of these, yeah, this Cowbell Cody, and this is Captain Stick right here. Yeah, no problem, Stavaris. Welcome in. Replica is here also. What's up, dude? Replica Gaming has one of the sickest flight sim setups I have ever seen. Just got it sorted out. It is freaking amazing. And he's a flight sim streamer also. Firefang. There you go. Yes, Skipper Jeff. Exactly, Skipper Jeff. Firefang, thank you so much for the raid. Holy moly. How are you doing, Firefang? Welcome in. You got to test out my new interactive lights back there with the raid flashing red. Good to see you, Firefang. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you, Laura. Glad to hear you're doing well. What were you doing? Oh, playing Valorant. Nice. So Firefang is an artist. Firefang actually, he makes emotes and other things as well. A very, very talented artist. I had Firefang do my initial set of emotes. So almost all of my dog emotes. No, wait, all of my follower emotes are the ones that Firefang created. And then I realized that I had a longtime friend that I didn't know was an artist that also is an artist, and I started getting her to do some stuff. Anyways, Firefang is an amazing streamer. Go follow Firefang, and a good artist as well. If you need emotes or any other artwork for your stream, hit up Firefang. She's great. Oh gosh, Replica, I can't imagine what you got going on. Hey, what's up, Roberto Flylillo? What's going on, dude? Roberto Flylillo is the community manager for Flylillo. Flylillo is an organization that helps get Flylillo is an organization that helps get gaming controls to disabled gamers. Does an amazing job doing that. Y'all go give Fly Lolo a follow. Google them. Check out their stuff. They're amazing people. Great people. And I'm honored to be an ambassador for Fly Lolo. Oh my gosh, 30 USB cables. That's crazy. Crazy. A Firefang with a sock command. Heck yeah. So my socks of the day on the right foot. I've got my black and yellow striped socks. On the left foot, black and white striped socks. Decided to go with the stripe theme tonight. You know, change things up a little bit. Actually, the one on the right foot is one that I've been wearing a long time, haven't washed, and that made it yellow. One on the left foot is a brand new one. Just kidding. Roberto, happy New Year to you as well. I hope you and your family and the entire Fly Lolo team are doing really, really well. Firefang. Just kidding. So today we're flying in Australia. I'll tell you something else I'm going to do soon. I'm going to buy some key lights, some Elgato key lights that can actually be controlled by chat also. So I've made a command that's off. So when someone types in the off command, not only would it turn the lights behind me off, it would also turn off the key light. So it totally goes dark for me. I've got to get that sorted out though. Yep. Oh no, there we go. I was going to say it broke it again. Good deal, Roberto. And I saw y'all did an amazing job with the fundraiser with all the streamers. Really, really good job. How much money you raised? How much was it? I can't remember how much it was. Right, Stavaris? Yeah, I don't want that to happen. Good job. That's amazing. 4,599 euro. So Roberto, the Chronico, thank you for the Prime sub. Dude. Y'all, thank you for the Prime subs. Prime subs are actually free to you. And Twitch gives us a little bit more of the Prime sub money than a regular sub actually as well. So thank you for that. I know, right, Skipper Jeff? I got a little bit behind when I screwed up on my autopilot. Sorry about that. But yes, I'm shepherding you guys. But Chronico, thank you so much, man. So many people supporting me and what I do here, and I really, really, I appreciate it a lot. Rad Baron, welcome in, Rad Baron. Good to see you.
As we fly up towards the coast again here, just a quick recap on the sort of end part of the flight that last took place, where you flew south and had a look at the Ranger uranium mine. And that's actually contained within the Kakadu National Park, which is to the south of where we're flying today. Not at all well represented in the sim, I'm afraid. You can't really see much from the air in the sim at all, but it's a huge national park, about the size of Wales, about 20,000 square kilometres. Very wide diversity of flora and fauna. Lots of species exist here that don't exist anywhere else. Unfortunately, a lot of introduced species, or a few introduced species as well, notably buffaloes and wild pigs, which they're now trying to eradicate. And the latest one is the ubiquitous cane toad, which is gradually making its way westward from Queensland, where that was introduced. Unfortunately, that's a threat to lots of small wildlife in the area, because it's essentially poisonous. Anything that eats it carks it. So they're not quite sure. They're working on various plans to try and control these cane toads, which were brought in originally to control the cane beetle, which was affecting crops in Queensland. But unfortunately, the cane toads turned their nose up at that food supply and went off and started ravaging the native species.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and it's, I know several streams ago we talked about how we as humans sometimes just totally screw things up. And that is one of the ways for sure. So what, well, before I ask my question, Rad Baron, thank you so much for the follow, man. Welcome in. Good to see you. Why buffalo? I know you said, I understand the wild pigs. We have that problem here where I live, but what's up with buffalo though? Why is that a bad thing?
Well, because they trample. They're not native to the country. They were introduced for and grazed here back in in the early 1900s, and they damage the land itself. It's not the sort of land in the area is not used to hooved animals. They're just them being there damages the ecosystem. And they're very large animals. They obviously poop a lot, like all animals, and we do. That has an effect. So yeah, overall not good for the environment, and say that they are trying to get rid of them gradually.
Gotcha. Thank you. I was just curious about that when you said that. Makes sense. Play golf with the cane code. Oh, with the cane toad. Yeah, that would be. Oh, that'd be messy too.
Yeah, there's lots of strategies for that. I think the official recommendation, if you find them, is to grab them and stick them in a freezer to kill them.
Wow. Are they? Do people eat them? Are they big enough to eat, like the frog legs?
No. Well, they are poisonous.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know how poisonous they are to humans, but then they wouldn't be nice to eat, I'm sure, and they're certainly extremely poisonous to the sort of native Australian animals that live in the area. Some of the native wildlife though is adapting, because I think the poison exists mainly on the skin, on the surface of their bodies. And some of the native wildlife has worked out ways of sort of bashing them around a bit and washing them in water, and is successfully able to eat them. So that again is kind of evolution at play.
Wow. Feed them to your enemies. Yeah, Roberto, that's really awesome, man. And I was supposed to play a part in the fundraiser, but as many of you guys know, rather than do the fundraiser for the Fly Lila organization, we had a really big need come up in my town, my hometown, for a little girl who was diagnosed with cancer. In just 5 days, actually, after she was diagnosed with cancer, she passed away. But I had already committed to the fundraiser, already opened a GoFundMe before she passed away. So I decided, instead of raising money for Fly Lila, to do that. And the community rallied together big time on that one as well. And we raised $2,405 US for that. They're struggling, Infidel Fireman, big time. And like I said, they do have 2 other kids. So they've got an older daughter and a younger son, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but they are really, really struggling. Rad Baron, we're on Southeast Asia. Yeah, thank you, Roberto. And I really appreciate your understanding. I appreciate your understanding on that. As much as I love helping national and international organizations, I felt that a local need for someone that I knew would be, was just, a bigger need at the time. But yeah, they're having a hard time.
Now again, just coming back on the Ranger uranium mine, which is contained within the Kakadu National Park. Mining started there in 1980. It reached full production in 1981 and ceased operating in 2021, not that long ago now. Oh, wow. And now that the discussions are going on about how it's going to be cleaned up and how they're going to prevent waste, contaminated water from kind of leaking into the areas of the national park. It's owned and operated by ERA, Australia, which is a company which is owned by Rio Tinto. So they're one of the major resource companies in the world, of course.
Wow. Chili Pepper, welcome in. Good to see you again. Thank you for the info command. Yeah, and Roberto, what really touched me about that is I've got a 9-year-old grandson and an 8-year-old granddaughter, as well as a little bit more than a 3-month-old grandson. So, you know, a 10-year-old is right there at my grandkid's age, and it just really, really touched me what this family was and still is going through. Let's speed up just a touch more. Got a pretty strong headwind now that's slowing me down. She was not. They went to different schools, actually. Oh, Rat Baron, you can eat them. You just have to remove the skin and poison glands. Yeah, it's a lot of work, though. No problem, Laura. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you so much. You're always in here every time I stream. It's so good to see you. Take care of yourself and get better. Take care of that sinus infection, and I hope next time I talk to you that you're feeling great again. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, Roberto, no problem, man. Kisses back to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Sleep well, dude. Rafa, this is actually, you have to buy the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Sim. It's not on the base version of Flight Sim. You have to buy the deluxe version of Flight Sim. And then this plane is actually a modified version of that as well by WB Sim. But if I'm not mistaken, and Skipper Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, you still have to have the deluxe version even now that your plane is a separate plane, correct? Yeah, so Rafa, I had the standard version as well, but I love this. I love the gauges so much that I bought the deluxe version just for this plane only. That's how much I love this plane. I bought Flight Sim all over again just so I could have the Cessna 172 with gauges. It really, yes, Rafa, it is. Okay, thank you, Skipper Jeff, for clarifying that. So yes, you do have to have the deluxe or premium version of Flight Sim. You want a free WB Sims? That's not what it only costs you 105. Oh, so you want a free one? Then you had to buy the
unacceptable condition. Unacceptable.
Yeah, Sim Corner, thank you for the sound alert. So you want it, then had to buy the deluxe to be able to use it. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Bubba, we don't condone piracy. So nope, don't mention it. I 100% believe in supporting the people. There you go, Mr. Shies. I 100% believe in supporting the people that create aircraft and other things here.
If anybody's interested, I've dropped a few Wikipedia photos into the Discord in travel screenshots of Kakadu and the uranium.
Oh, nice. Let me pull those up really quick. Oh, that's really cool. Let me show these. Get this sorted out really quick. Oz Nomad just shared some pictures of part of the area that we overflew on my last stream Thursday. Oh, do you really, Skipper Jeff? That's good to know. Oh, I did, Uncle B. Oh, he is on it, man. And I don't think Caronado wants to, mess with someone like Two-Tone. Yeah, I saw that. That was total. All right, let me show these photos really quick. See if I can get this done right. There we go. So Oz, would you explain what we're looking at?
Yep, just bear in mind that the stream I'm looking at is a little behind,
Yes.
so I can see it now. Oh, there you go. It's back again. Yeah, that's the escarpment, which is like sheer sort of cliffs. So this is at the northern end of Kakadu National Park, and during the wet season, rain just cascades off of here, and then flows into the floodplains and the rest of the park, which is sort of to the right in that picture, which is south of the escarpment.
Oh wow, that would look really neat. And then I know what this is. Can I open this? No, can't make it bigger.
Yeah, that's an example of some of the rock art that's in the area. Kakadu is one of the primary rock art sites for Aboriginal art in the country. And a lot of the figures here are very old. They reckon people have lived in this area for 60,000 years.
Wow. And there's a zoomed up on it a little bit. I'm not going to ask about this right here. But yeah, that's really amazing.
No, just don't talk about the unmentionable.
Yeah, don't mess with that guy. He's got a big pair. Let's see here. All right, so there's that one. Are those buffalo? Hang on a minute.
Yeah, that's the water buffalo that are in the park.
All right, let's see here. I'm struggling. There we go. Sorry about that. Ah, there's a croc.
Yeah, next one's a snapping handbag.
Snapping handbag. Love that. And then this is oh man, this is beautiful.
Yeah, that again looks like a view from the escarpment looking south over the wetland.
Oh, is this water cascading over during the wet season?
Yeah, that's Jim Falls, and yeah, by the looks of it, I would think that's around wet season. A good amount of water coming over there.
Okay, and there's the uranium mine that we flew over. This is what we did at the end of stream on Thursday.
Yep, that's it. That's the area of it, and that's the sort of processing part. A lot of the processing of the ore takes place on site.
Very neat. Thanks for sharing those, Oz. I think that was it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. That's all for now, folks.
Thank you. It's always nice to have a native of where we're flying in chat to share, and I really do appreciate that, Oz. Very cool.
You're very welcome, sir.
Hey, Computation Steve, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
If you haven't worked it out by now, I am gainfully employed by the Australian Tourism Department.
Seriously, are you?
No, that's a joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Perhaps I should be sending them an invoice.
This is true. Wow, 27 planes. Holy crap, Mr. Shies. That's amazing. Thanks for counting. Yeah, Chronico, it's so cool. And it's one of the things that I love so much. Victor? It's one of the things that I love so much about Flight Sim is, we can talk about, yeah, it's going to be a full stop at this one. We can talk about areas in the world and see it on TV, but to see it, and of course this isn't real, but it's as close to real as a lot of us are going to get to visiting some of these places. And so being able to see it as we see it in the sim is just absolutely beautiful. Red Baron. Oh, you're getting more popular than Alligator Dundas, Oz, is what Rad Baron's saying. But like, for example, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, I need to buy a large knife, don't I?
Yes. Fruity One, we're actually approaching in just a little while. We're, you know what? I need to throw autopilot back on. In just a little while, we're approaching, hang on a minute. There we go. Yankee Mike Charlie would be a good place for you to spawn in. Yankee Mike Charlie. Go ahead and spawn in there. Yes, we are multiplying. I love it. So I'm known in the flight sim community for group flights, and I love the large group flights like we have tonight. And I love being interactive also with the community. I love talking and interacting. How's your PC build in a high density area with, oh, not very good. Not very good, Jumper. Thank you for the first time chat. Once we get into really big, busy airports, I get horrible frame rate drops, but my PC is a very minimal build for Flight Sim Expo. I mean, for Microsoft Flight Sim.
First of all,
Hey, settle down. Take it easy. What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober.
Thank you for the follow, USA. You'll never, yeah, you never know what I'll say either on stream. And what was I saying? I was talking about something. Group flights. I don't know. Welcome in though. Good to see you. You welcome, Fruity. Let's scroll up to see if I remember what it was I was gonna say. Oh yeah, we were talking about places in the world that you never visit. So this coming Saturday, I'm gonna be doing a flight over the Potomac River, not the entire river, but a good portion of it from I think we're the northern part of it, flying all the way out to the Atlantic Ocean. So we'll get to see Washington, DC and stuff like that. And those are places I may never get to see in real life, but we can see them in the sim, and with add-ons, it's almost like really being there. You got to ask, can you see the light work I did the other day? What do you mean the light work, Trial? What light work? Oh, nice. Yeah, Jumper. That's a $3,000 build should be. Oh, how far I've gotten? I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you in a minute. Gotcha. Yeah. So my PC, there's a long story behind my PC, and I'm not going to get into that tonight, but I totally got screwed. The first PC that I had a local company build for me, it wouldn't run any of my equipment. I paid them $1,500 for it. I said I wasn't going to tell the story, and here I am, but I'm not going to get into detail with it. But I ended up buying another case, another motherboard, another processor, and more RAM. I paid a company $1,500. They wouldn't do anything about it because they said it was to the specs that I told them, or that I agreed to. And so I ended up buying all this other stuff. And so the graphics card was a 1080. So my graphics card's a 1080. And anyways, it runs it very well for what it is. With streaming and all the other stuff I have going on, I can't complain. So part of my lighting behind me, not only is it interactive, I'm trying to make it to where some of the songs that I play specifically during stream, that it's timed to those. So I have spent about 2 hours, go ahead and mute Infinite Fireman. I've spent about 2 hours working on this song, timing the lights to the music. So I'm gonna play it, and let's see how far I've gotten on it. I'm like 40 seconds in with 2 hours worth of work. Here we go. That's actually, no, here we go. I'm almost to the end. That might be the end. That's as far as I've gotten. Now the lights are going to stay off for about another 60 seconds. Oh, thank you, Chronico. Thank you, Super Typhon. Pazzy, what's going on, man? Good to see you again. So yeah, that's as far as I've gotten with it so far. It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work. But I love it, and it's all just for stream interactivity. Thank you for the predictions. Drop Bear, welcome in. Drop Bear, we're actually approaching Yankee Mike Charlie Charlie, and it's going to be a full stop. So if you'd like to fly along with us, this will be the perfect time to jump in and fly along. I better get that -25. Yeah, we are on Southeast Asia server, and y'all, there are a ton of people flying along with us tonight. This is one of the largest group flights I think I've ever had. A lot of people here.
Victor?
Yeah, yep. Skipper Jeff's flying along with us. Skipper Jeff is one of the people who helped create this plane that I'm flying tonight. We've got 9 pilots currently in FS Hub. Parasox Air pilots. 6 pilots are actually flying along with us today. Six Parasox Air pilots are with us today flying. That is wild. Thank y'all. It's growing so quickly. He is. Yes, he is. Hallie, what's going on, dude? Bullet Monkey. Also, Bullet Monkey, welcome in. Bullet Monkey Gaming is a fellow flight sim streamer. Mariner Hallie is a streamer. Deep Dish Dave is a streamer. Holy crap. Got a bunch of people jumped in here all at once. You got a lot of work to do, Infinite Fire, man. So my socks of the day. On the right foot, I've got my black and yellow striped socks. On the left foot, excuse me, on the right foot. On the left foot, black and white striped socks. These are my socks of the day. Thank you for that. You'll be there in a bit. Got to fly from Japan to Australia. No problem at all, Drop Bear. Hat Trick, thank you for the flash command. Welcome in. Oh, that is correct. That is correct, Jumper. You are correct. Thank you for, dude, I didn't even know you were here. Thank you for hanging out during the New Year's stream. And yes, my students do know that I'm a streamer. Some of them think it's cool. Some of them are like, they don't give a rip. But I mean, either way, I love it. And I love that interactivity with them. Hallie, dude, I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for asking. Mandarin Hallie is again another flight sim streamer, great friend of the community, just a great overall individual. I like hanging out in yeah, at least they're not making fun of me, right? Yes, Rad Baron, this is correct. Logitech Cytec rudders. Also, we had Bullet Monkey Gaming came in here, another flight sim streamer friend of the community here, and someone else. We had several people jump in all at once and say hello. I don't want to, yeah, Deep Dish Dave, another flight sim streamer friend. Really awesome guy. I have heard of Spadnex. I don't use it. I need to use it. I looked into it actually. Oh shoot, we're at the airport. Hang on. I looked into it yesterday actually, and I just need to take the time to do it. All right, we're gonna have to do a little side slip in here, y'all. Missed watching streams as well with holidays. Oh yeah, Pazzy, I totally understand, man. Holidays are busy for everybody, myself included. I missed a lot of people's streams because of the holidays also. But yeah, I have heard of Spadnet. And there was another one too someone had mentioned. So I've got to sort it out which one I'm going to use. So what I'm looking forward to is not that I fly a lot of variety of planes, but there's one of them that whatever plane you fly, it will set up your controls to that plane, which is very helpful because now I have to manually do it every time I switch aircraft. So yeah, we're getting students come back Wednesday, and I'm really excited. I really miss the students. You know, it's a nice break. Christmas break is always nice, but coming back to school is always nice too. What was my landing rate? 156. I call bullcrap on that. Who won that one? AZ Bubba won, guessing 170. Dang. Spadnax. Thank you, Hallie. Okay, good deal. I will look into that. Wombi. What's up, Wombi? Wombi is another creator of really awesome things in Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you've seen the duck in Microsoft Flight Sim, if you've seen the outhouse, the golf cart, and a lot of other creations, those are Wombi's. Wombi's awesome. Oh, 2 tons. Thank you, Kev Sim Corner. There are 2 tons of people flying along. I'm going to jump up and get a quick screenshot of everybody. Then I'm going to take a quick restroom break. Dave Rendon. What is up, dude? How are you doing? Oh, yes. Thank you, Hallie. Please do. Please do. Dave Rendon is a really good friend of mine in person. I've met Dave in person. We talk on the phone. We text. And Dave's such an amazing individual. He's a pilot with multiple ratings. Also in real life, just a great guy overall. Y'all go follow Dave Rendon. He's also a streamer. Wow, we got more people that haven't even landed yet. Sheesh. All right, so if you'd like to fly along with us, you can see there's a bunch of people here. Bunch of people here flying with us. I'm doing fantastic, Dave. Thank you. Oh, that was a quiet one. I'm gonna step away for just a minute, go take a quick restroom break, refill my water, and I'll be right back. So y'all jump on in. We're at Yankee Mike Charlie Airport, and we're on Southeast Asia server. See you soon. Be right back. Nova stuff. What? Nova stuff, dude, thank you so much for the donation. Nova stuff, you do enough for me, man. Nova stuff, you did so much already with helping me out with the Hawaii tour, man. Thank you. I will be right back. Enjoy the music, enjoy talking amongst yourselves. See you in a minute. But yeah, be sure to hit those F's and hearts in chat. All right, I'm back. And Kev Sim Corner, I just realized while I was on my break that I didn't give you a proper shout out. I mean, you got a shout out, but I didn't talk about you. So Kev Sim Corner is an American truck sim streamer on Facebook and on Twitch. Really, really engaging individual. Also, he does a great job engaging with the community and driving his truck. Also, sometimes I say he's flying it, and yeah, sometimes he does fly his truck. But Kev's Sim Corner, go give him a follow. You won't regret it, I promise you. He is a great guy, really is a great guy. All right, let's get back up in the air. Once we get in the air, we're gonna fly a heading of 309er. Let me find Kev's name here, if I can find it. Where is Kev's name? There it is. There's a shout out for Kev Sim Corner. You're welcome, Kev, man. I'm sorry. I always try to shout everybody out and talk about them. Do it, Trial, do it. All right, back down to the...
Unacceptable!
I know, right? Totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. All right, we're back in the plane. I got flaps up. Let me play a different song, and then we'll get back up in the air. Here we go. Turn on some hype music. Do y'all like electric guitar? I do. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. We're gonna fly a heading of 309er. 309er. Heartbreak off. Come on, Scruff. Heartbreak off. There we go. Blue Eyed Tom, welcome in, man. No problem at all. Glad to see you here. You're here? Yes, that's all that matters. Kurt Deasy, thank you for the alert. Good to see you, my friend. Yes, I turn the webcam off on purpose. Usually when I do these songs, I turn it off. Yes, it is, Wolf. Welcome in, Wolf. Good to see you. Stick. That's why I turned the camera off, so y'all couldn't see me doing my dance. Capper Stick, actually, Skipper Jeff is who did all the mods for the delivery. Right. I like to have a little bit of fun every now and then and do that. Yeah, so Capistick, when WB Sim first came out with this mod, there were just a small handful. Really, you can't get it to work for WB Sim? I'll have to go back. In their Discord, I think they've got a livery pack just for their plane, and mine should be part of that. So when they first came out with this plane, there was a small handful of streamers that got it, and they created liveries for those streamers. Or they didn't create them, but the existing liveries that those creators had, they modified them to work on their plane. And I'm pretty sure, thank you, Skipper Jeff. That's the short answer. But Capistick, I'll be glad to help you with that. I know nothing of liveries. I would love to learn how to do liveries, but when I sit down to fool around with whatever program it is that people use to create liveries, I can't even remember the name of it. I find myself overwhelmed and just say, forget it, and find something else to do. Okay, cool, Skipper Jeff. Thank you. Yes, Capistick, it was drag and drop for me, and just because when I first got a copy of this aircraft, I had the livery, and so they modified it to work on the plane. So as I was displaying it on stream, I could still fly with my livery. So it is drag and drop for me. Yeah, Super Typhon, I've got I used to have Photoshop. I got sick of paying a yearly fee for it when I really didn't use it that much. And I find myself overwhelmed with Photoshop too. So, you know, I'm an old guy. I'm really not that old. I'm an older looking 35-year-old. Use GIMP? I'll have to check that out. Is it payware or no? I mean, I don't mind paying a little bit for something that it is free, really? Okay. I will check that out. How intuitive is it though? So, holy crap, got a bunch of people flying along. This is just amazing. All the basic stuff. Oh yes, Hallie, I always, this is what I'm using right now. Oh, look at that. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Skipper Jeff, for posting that. Oh, cool. Thank you, Hallie. Wolfville, I'm not sure if it does or not.
First of all,
Oh yeah, Capistick, unfortunately. Nick Gressler, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for that, Nick Gressler. Unfortunately, Capistick, that there's some sort of a disconnect between buying it from Orbix and buying it on the marketplace. Swarmulator, thank you for the follow.
What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober!
So unfortunately, there is a disconnect between the Parallel 42 kit box you buy on the marketplace and the one you get from Orbix. I don't know what that disconnect is, but I can't see people's planes as proper either that got it on the marketplace. Swarmulator, thank you for the follow also. Nick, welcome in. Oh, nice, man. Thank you. What is, so you saw me on FSB Flight Sim. Eric Flight, thank you for the raid. Eric Flight, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate you coming in here. How are you doing, man? Welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for shouting out, Eric Flight. Where were you flying? Flight Sim Bests, really? I'm not familiar with Flight Sim Bests. Thank you so much for coming in, Nick. So what is Flight Sim Bests? Yeah, Eric. So I teach. I'm a teacher, and I've got to check that out. Flight Sim Bests. Thank you. Flew around Lake Tahoe 4 times, dude. Lake Tahoe is a challenging place to fly somewhere. So y'all go give Eric Flight a follow. I'm gonna do the same. Virtual USA Flying Club event. Oh, cool. It's basically where they compile a bunch of funny videos. Oh, is it really, Nick? Okay, thank you. I'll have to check that out because I have not heard of that. Periodically, I'll look on my Twitch information just to see where people find me at. And there is one channel that lists different streamers and stuff, and I'm like, really, I wasn't aware of this. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thank you, man. Well, cool. Thank you for telling me that, Nick. And again, thank you for the follow. Thank you for coming in off of that. Oh, that's really awesome. I have got to check that out. That makes me happy that I'm in something like that, especially with the likes of Two Tone Murphy and Kendo. That's pretty awesome. And CD. Sheesh. So Infidel Fireman did post. Oh yeah, thank you, Nick. I'm just I don't know that much about flying. I'm learning slowly. But I have a passion. I say this all the time. I have a passion for people and a passion for flying, and everyone's always welcome to come in. Everyone's welcome to fly along also. No problem, Skipper. I'm incapable of that a lot myself, even while I'm streaming. So I've got a lot of people flying along, Nick. And so if you'd like to jump in and fly, every one of these people are with the community here flying with us. So if you'd like to jump in, I'm known for big group flights. I'd love to have you jump in and fly. We're on Southeast Asia server, and this is the closest airport. I do want to fly for real one day. So there's 2 things that are inhibiting me. The first one is in 1994, I took a flight lesson. I've got 6/10 logged in a flight book, but I got really, really airsick to the point to where I was incapacitated the rest of the day. Like I couldn't do anything the rest of the day. I got so airsick. So I said, forget this. I don't think I want to be a pilot anymore. And once I discovered Microsoft Flight Sim, it kind of reignited that. And I checked into the pricing, and the pricing is very, very expensive. For me, this is like a year and a half ago, I checked into flight lessons, and it was going to be basically $200 an hour. And then I multiplied that by 40 hours, very bare minimum 40 hours. And that's an $8,000 investment. Plus, once I got my license, renting a plane again, more fuel. So I said, you know what? I need to pay off some debt first, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, it's very expensive. So if anyone's going to Flight Sim Expo though, yes, it's much cheaper than England, Fruity One. I've seen and heard the prices for England. It's nuts. If anyone's going to Flight Sim Expo, I will be there. I'm really excited about Flight Sim Expo. If you have not already registered, please, when you register either online or the online expo or in person, be sure you type in promo code ScruffyTam, and it'll save you 10% on your registration, and it also helps me as well. Exactly, Skipper Jeff, and I'm just not in the place where I can spend that kind of money for the license and then have that much, to spend on flying. So maybe, in a couple, 2 or 3 years, I'll be at a point where I can do that. And I think it would be pretty cool to go visit places, jump in a plane with my wife and go on vacation, or the wife and kids even. But for now, my reality is this is what I have, and I love it. Yes, yep, I'm a teacher. I teach automotive technology. This is true. Skipper Jeff, you're not wrong. $30,000. Holy crap. Yeah, I teach automotive technology, and let me show you. Oh, no, not let me show you. I was just looking on FS Hub for the virtual airline. Check this out. These are all the people that are flying for Parasox Air right now. Most of them are in Australia, but we have some other ones spread throughout the world. But right now we have 11 pilots with Parasox Air online. 9 are flying right now, and a lot of those that are flying are with me. Flying along right now. That is pretty awesome. Kaharia! It's college. Yep, it is college. College level. Welcome in, Kaharia. Good to see you. So Kaharia is whose mom has created several pairs of hand knitted multicolored striped socks for the channel here for me to wear. An awesome streamer. She always flies Spitfires. She's actually doing a Spitfire around the world tour on her channel. And she's an awesome streamer in US, South Carolina. Much wavage, Kaharia. Good to see you. And hugs to your mom and you. Lumix, thank you for the follow.
What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober!
Yep, so I'm in South Carolina. Several of my students come in to chat and talk sometimes. It's been a little while. I know, right, Kev? Who is that? Who is that way up there? But y'all, I'm so proud of Parasox Air, my virtual airline. Not very often, Bubba. We've got 34 pilots now, and we are on page 1 of the FS Hub, which is where all virtual airlines are there. And it's just amazing how many people, how quickly our airline has grown. Oh, is it you, Kev? Yeah, I know, right? Falling Up, welcome in, Falling Up. Good to see you. So again, if you'd like to jump in and fly with us, everyone's welcome. And I'll shut up because Oz wants to talk. Go ahead, Oz.
Thanks, Scruffy. Yeah, just coming in over Croker Island now. There's about 300 indigenous people live on the island. Main settlement is on the east coast, on the other side from the airport here. And then there's about half a dozen or so smaller family-based communities dotted around the island. Darwin, as I said before, was subject to bombing in the Second World War. As a result of that, the authorities evacuated the non-indigenous children from the island, only the non-indigenous, and it was left to one of the missionaries on the mission that was running on the island at the time to gather up the rest of the children, about 100 of them, and they actually made it over to the mainland and did a 5,000 kilometre trek to Sydney, where those children stayed until 1946 after the war.
Oh, wow. I don't know if y'all saw it, but there was some people lined up. They heard us coming there. I see some of the indigenous people on the shore waving at us. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah, they might be throwing spears.
This is true. Yes, I love the radial engines. There are 2 T6 Texans that fly out of the airport that's a half mile from me, and my house is right over their flight pattern. So I love, what day was it I was talking about it? Today is Saturday morning, yesterday morning. There were flying patterns early yesterday morning over the house. They're beautiful. They're yellow. Oh, gorgeous. And they sound so good. And then I was taking the dog out, and I heard a plane that had just overflown, and I looked up and it was off in the distance. So I couldn't tell exactly what it was, but it was a V-tail. Yeah, Bubba, most days I go to bed at 9:30 p.m. and I get up around 5:30. But I'll be teaching on Monday and Tuesday nights now until 10 o'clock. So I'll get to bed around 10:30 or 11 and then get up early-ish. Yeah, that's it. I couldn't really tell Super Typhon, but I'm thinking it was probably a Bonanza, but I couldn't really tell for sure what it was. But I said, oh, that's cool. It's a V-tail. I didn't know that there was a V-tail that flew out of our airport here. So I've got I should spend more time at the airport. Really should. Entry level planes into air races around 150 knots. Dude, they sound so good. And those two are beautiful aircraft. Yeah, so for the next, this whole semester on Monday and Tuesday, I only teach at night, and class starts at 5 o'clock or 5:30. So I don't have to go in until noontime on Monday and Tuesday. So that's why I'll spend my Monday mornings catching up from my Sunday evening stream. And then Tuesday mornings, I am going to start streaming on Tuesday, starting the 17th. So I'm adding another stream day to my lineup. This airport, I think, you know what? I am going to do a full stop here just so FS Hub will record the flight. So if you'd like to jump in and join the crowd, we're approaching Yankee Charlie Kilo India. Hey, thank you for the guesses. Beach and Steve, welcome in, man. I know I welcomed you a little while ago, but things were kind of nuts then. How are you doing, Beach and Steve? Good to see you. Uncle B, you gotta head out. No problem at all, Uncle B. Are you streaming in the morning? Oh, back to work today. I understand. Yep. This week is my first full week back, starting tomorrow since the holidays. A bit of working lurking. Hey, I understand. I do the same thing a lot. You will be back in the Eucharist 52. Nice. So I'll catch you either when I wake up or when I get to work. One of the two, Uncle B. But I should be there for a little while. I'll look forward to it. Sleep well, my friend. Yeah, post those predictions in. Type in !predict, a space, and then a negative number. Also, if you want to control the lights behind me, you can type in !commands, and it'll give you a website with all the different commands you can use to control the lights behind me in chat, which I still think is pretty freaking cool. Oh, I don't know why they didn't go off. Why didn't they go off? Oh, those were the landing lights. Yeah, so now try off, Rad Baron. AZ Bubba had done the landing. Wow, we're getting really, really rough crosswind right here. That's all right, Rad Baron. I've actually got a 5-second timeout between commands just so it doesn't get overloaded. So that's why it didn't work, because AZ Bubba had typed one in right before you. Oh, Kev Simcorner predicting a crash because of the crosswinds. Hey, I probably resemble that remark. Oh, is it 30 seconds for the same message? I'm still learning it. I just got that hooked up Friday and went live with it yesterday, so I'm still learning all the stuff about it. And I've had these lights forever, and I knew there was some kind of way to make them controllable by chat, but I didn't know how to do it until Mr. Shies helped me with it Friday, and I think it's pretty awesome. All right, I'm gonna butter this one. Oh gosh, no, I'm not either.
Butter.
64, heck yes. Heck yes. Mariner Halley, thank you for your confidence. That was a nice one right there. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. Thank you. Get me a roll cage.
Nervous?
Yes.
First time.
No, I've been nervous lots of times.
All right, so good Lord, look at this. Look at this, would you? Wow. All right, I'm gonna I don't know why the command didn't work, Chronico. It's supposed to. Oh, wait a minute, I missed something by Oz. Oh, no problem, Oz. You got a 49 in the stall addicts, 172. Nice. All right, y'all, let's get back up in the air. We're gonna be flying a heading of 256. 25 negative 58. Mario, welcome in. So you're the one in the heli. Nice. So we'll fly a heading of 256. Jump on in and fly along with us. Everybody's always welcome. Change light color to green. What? It does not recognize sentences. Let's go. Y'all are so fun. Oh yeah, that's right. You are on FS Hub. Heck yes.
Hello.
Bubba, thank you for the alert.
Lurking for.
Thank you for that alert, Bubba. All right, I'm going to turn to a heading of 256 as soon as it's safe. As soon as I get a little altitude and can clear these trees. I got one of these Alexa devices, so I can be spied on at all times. And my wife, she's not a fan. I mean, not that she's all wigged out that we're getting spied on or anything. But like, she talks mean to Alexa. She don't like another woman in the house. Yeah, Cowbell Cody. Yeah, Cowbell Cody was in chat earlier. Cowbell Cody, you are being summoned by trial. Well, trial. That's why you're a camera operator. That's why you're a camera operator for the Flight Sim Thunderbirds. Chunky knows what he's doing. Oh, wrong one. Wrong. I did not mean to click that. Jeez.
Hey, settle down.
Kiwasi. Hey, I love that username. That's a really cool play on words there. Kiwasi, welcome in. Good to see you. Thank you for the follow. Love your username, by the way. Love that play on words. Oh, that's a nice camera angle. And you can see autopilot there looking at us. Oh man, trial. I haven't got any of my curves set up on my POTOS, on my stick. Nice, nice. Welcome in, Kiwasi. I love your username, man, and I thought that was probably the case. Autonesis, yes he does. Yes he does. I rewatched it for I don't know how many times it's been. Over last weekend, I rewatched it, and that movie never gets old. Never gets old. PSA, Hallie. There you go. Thank you, Infinite Fireman. Oh, sorry about that, Cowbell Cody. That's right. I forgot you fly in VR. Trial was saying that he's sorry about the horrible formation leading he was doing. Sorry about that, Cowbell Cody. You may go back to VR again. I apologize. Oh, good deal. He did good. Awesome. Oh, fly what you want to, Trial. I don't care. I don't know if you were talking to me or Cowbell Cody, but of course, I don't mind what you fly. So if you're new here, my slogan is no rules, just flight. That means fly what you want to and fly how you want to. Oh, also, yeah, in my Discord, I do have a Discord. I have a general chat section, so you can go in there and actually talk with others. So if you'd like to jump into Discord and talk with the other pilots that are flying along with us, feel free to. It's pretty cool. I looked a couple streams ago, and there were a couple people in there talking. So if you wanna jump in there, Trial's in there right now in the general voice. Feel free to jump on in and chat with others. There's a link to my Discord. So Trial, I have a secret Discord voice that I use. I'm in Discord voice now, but I've got it locked out for everybody else, just for me and Oz. Because it really, if you have ever tried to stream on Twitch with multiple people in voice chat talking all at once while you try to engage with chat, it's almost impossible. So, oh, sorry. You don't need to bring up flow all the time like that. When you have the camera widget open, you can just drag it over to the side. Oh, really?
Okay, settle down. Take it easy.
Branding Iron, thank you for that.
I'm a goofy goober.
Thank you, Branding Iron. I had no idea. I appreciate that. Yeah, Beethoven, we are on the way to Darwin. Yes, we are. Good evening. Hey, from your job. Welcome in from your job. And Horace Saber, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. I am Scruffy Tam. I'm a longtime gamer. If you're new to the channel, and a lot of people are tonight, I'm Scruffy Tam. I'm a longtime gamer. I've been streaming since September. Oh, nice. That's a game changer. And I can actually hide it behind the FS Expo logo where it's really not that visible. No, actually, I can hide it down here and no one can see it. That's really freaking cool, man. Thank you for that. I'm a longtime gamer. I've been streaming since September 2020 and a flight simmer since September 2021. Welcome in.
Okay, back in the air now, catching up, flying one-handed with a cup of tea in the other hand. So
Oh, nice. Good deal. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that, Branding Iron. Thank you for that information. That's pretty awesome. Billy T is on the way. Welcome in. So Oz, Beethoven is wondering if we've been over Kakadu Mine. Oh, that's where we flew. Kakadu Mine was what we flew over Thursday, right?
yeah, that's right. We flew over the uranium mine on Thursday.
Yeah, we did that Thursday evening. I streamed extra late Thursday, and we overflew it. Ah, Branding, that's pretty awesome, man. Thank you. So I can hide them behind my controls cam right here, and then no one can see that I have those things up there. That's pretty cool. Appreciate that. No worries. C130 flying low. Love your username. Welcome in. Jump on in and fly with us if you'd like to.
Okay, we're flying over the Coburg Peninsula now, which is part of the mainland. We're basically flying over the 3 or 4 sort of fingers of land that jut out here into the Arafura Sea, on our way to Cape Don, where Microsoft's infamous Lighthouse dev has been extra busy, creating an in-game POI of a lighthouse for us. I'll have a bit more to say about the history of that lighthouse when we get closer.
So there's a running joke in the channel between myself and Oz about lighthouses and Microsoft Flight Sim, and what an amazing job they do with them, and how focused they are on lighthouses and nothing else.
Show us those.
Thank you for that sock command, Infinite Fireman. So I always wear crazy mismatched socks in real life. I do that on stream too. If you ever wonder what socks I'm wearing, type in exclamation socks, and I'll turn on my sock cam. You know, I could probably make it to where the sock cam automatically comes on as well. On the right foot, I've got my black and yellow striped socks. On the left foot, black and white striped sock. Those are my socks of the day. What town are we flying by?
Not really any towns of any significance in this part of the world.
Kiwi, let me show you where we're at. So this is the Northern Territory. We're right at the top of Australia.
YCPD is the next airport.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Sorry, Yankee Charlie Papa Delta.
Thank you, sir. No worries, Kiwi. Thank you for being here, and thank you for jumping in.
And in response to Chronico's question, why don't people choose to live on this coastline? Oh, there's many reasons. Crocodiles would be one, and it's. I mean, Aboriginal communities live in these places. Not many other people do. The lands around here are under the control of and management of the local indigenous communities. The land has been ceded back to them, so they don't want major development up here anyway. And it's, it's hot, it's humid all year round, very humid, obviously in the wet season. Most of the coastlines around here are more or less floodplains, lots of mangroves and that. So, I wouldn't suggest it's the best place in the world to live unless you like a lot of humidity.
We could always set up a alligator purse factory.
I think we got a few of those, yeah. Although the crocodiles are protected, there are several crocodile farms around northern Australia that do, produce crocodile. They grow crocodiles, if you like. They breed them, and then they're slaughtered for their skins and so forth.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, Aramon, some croc boots. Yes, we can have croc everything. Kazaki Flyer, welcome in, Kazaki. Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, Kazaki Flyer. How are you doing, man? Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you were doing well. How was your stream? Kazaki Flyer is another awesome flight sim streamer. Kazaki, I really enjoy Kazaki's streams. Great guy. Go give Kazaki Flyer a follow. Give him some support. Awesome guy. Yeah, it does super Typhon. I'm just joking, man. Alligator boots, alligator shirts, alligator hats, pants, socks, alligator socks. Oh, won't those be uncomfortable?
Crocodile skins actually makes very good leather. Yeah, it sits very nice.
Fried gator is good. I do like some fried gator tail. Yeah, y'all go give Kazaki Flyer. He streamed filming in the LA Basin. Nice. Good deal. Yeah, Kazaki Flyer is a good friend of the community, a longtime friend of the community actually as well.
Hey Oz, it's Infidel. Hey, does any of the Aborigines have any say in the government down there, or do they have their own stuff?
Yeah, they control the land almost exclusively. I mean, the federal government still has sort of the top level of control, but they interfere little. The idea is that these communities are left to live their traditional lifestyles and manage their own affairs. They do receive grants and other things for various services and so forth, but on the whole, the idea is to sort of leave them to live their traditional lives.
So they don't have any representation in the parliament or anything?
No, at the moment, no, and that's the sad thing, but there are plans afoot to change that. We've had what you would call a conservative government in Australia for the last several years, quite a while, and they're kind of against the. Well, again, they're not the best for looking after the rights of the indigenous people,
Gotcha.
but. After some other things that happened and a few scandals that were around, and we booted them out at the last election. We've now got a Labour government in power, and they're pushing forward on what's called a voice to Parliament, which will be, there's no concrete details about how this is going to work yet, but basically it's going to be an Aboriginal representation group of people or a body which the government will consult when they're dealing with matters relating to the indigenous community.
Okay.
They won't, at this stage, say we don't know. It doesn't look as though they're going to have any veto power or anything like that, but the idea is that the government will take their advice on board. This is kind of a first step. Whether that will be expanded in the future, I certainly hope so. But we'll see. But yeah, they say the government, the current more left-leaning government, is more amenable to those kind of things. Yeah.
That's a good
cool,
first
thanks.
step, though. Yeah, thanks for that. Sparky,
Yeah.
What's up, Sparky? And King
I
Ken,
think that.
welcome in also.
I was just going to say, I think this whole voice to the Parliament thing is going to go to a national referendum at some stage, and the arguing that's going on at the moment is that the government haven't really fleshed out any details of how this is going to work. So the public want to know, well, what actually are we voting for? What are the powers going to be? What rights will they have, and so forth. So that
Right.
remains to be worked out yet.
Yeah, hopefully they get that done soon.
Yeah. King Ken, welcome in. Good to see you again. I'm glad you got everything sorted out. And Sparky Pilot, good to see you. Purple is my favorite color. Also, Sparky Pilot, type in exclamation police. Exclamation police. So Sparky Pilot is another flight sim streamer. She is a pilot in real life. She actually got affiliate and got sport pilot rated at the same week, at least. I think the same day though. Sparky Pilot is a really awesome streamer. Really enjoy her channel, and I can't wait to meet her at Flight Sim Expo. Thank you, Sparky, for being here. So yes, you can. Oh, go ahead. Awesome.
Sorry, just quickly answering the question from T. Wazzy there. I assume he's caught between two stools there, New Zealand and Australia. But yeah, in the Australian Parliament currently, there are some Indigenous representatives. They're quite free to stand for election as anybody else in the country is, but the numbers are very small still, so they don't have a lot of influence, and they certainly don't have any real power in the assembly.
Yes, the Sparky, I've had these lights for a long time, and I just worked out how to make them to where they were interactive in chat, so you can type in a lot of different things to make them interactive for you guys. Oh, you got a lurk? No problem, Trial. Thank you for the lurk. And Oz, thank you for answering that question in chat also. Take care, Trial. Trial's bedtime is usually like 6 p.m. I think, so he's up late, probably on restriction now. I like to troll Trial. Trial is a member of the Flight Simulator Thunderbirds. I'm a member also. Trial is one of the youngest members of, in fact, I think he is the youngest member of the Thunderbirds. So we all troll him about his age. But he is a great guy, and I hope he can make it to Flight Sim Expo if he can find a babysitter to go with him, and so I can meet him. Yeah, it worked out really good, Chronico, didn't it? Yes. Nah, Trial's a great guy though. I give him a hard time. Probably shouldn't give him as hard a time as I do, but I like him. If I didn't like him, I wouldn't give him a hard time. So we got a bunch of people flying along. If you would like to jump in and join the crowd, feel free to jump on in. My slogan here is no rules, just flight. So you fly what you want to and fly how you want to. Everyone's welcome to jump on in and fly with us. I enjoy group flights a lot. We're on Southeast Asia server, and we're actually about to fly over Yankee Charlie Papa Delta Airport. It's a little old Bush Airport airstrip here in Australia. I'm just gonna overfly it. I am not gonna do a full stop or a touch and go here either. I'm just gonna overfly this one. But we're approaching the Cape Don Lighthouse. I've got to get back in Sparky's streams. I haven't seen her. She's been doing a series lately where she flies and then reads a flight story as well, which I think is a pretty cool idea. But I haven't seen any of those streams yet, just because it's either I'm streaming or I'm doing something else or sleeping. Because we got a 3-hour time zone difference between us, so right now it's a lot earlier for Sparky than it is me.
Okay, we're approaching the Cape Don and the Cape Don Lighthouse now. This was constructed back in 1915 to 1917 when it was recognised that something was needed, because the narrow stretch of land between there and the next island over is a major sort of port or entryway into the port of Darwin. So they thought they'd better do something. It was manned originally and powered by kerosene lamps.
Oh, wow.
Later on, it was converted to electricity. All through that period, there were about 3 lighthouse keeper cottages in the location for the people that worked there. And then much later, I think that this century, 2015 maybe, or somewhere around there, the lighthouse was converted to automatic operation, so the cottages were no longer needed for employees, but they're now, or 1 or 2 of them are rented out as fishing huts for people. There's a single 4-wheel drive road that winds its way up here. You can get up here in the dry season, and the fishing is very good, I'm told.
So if you said it, I missed it. How old is the lighthouse if it was operated with kerosene?
When it was first built, it's 1915, so you're looking at 110, going on 110 years now.
Gotcha, thank you.
And just for those who don't know, the Northern Territory was actually part of South Australia, which is the state to the south in its very early days. and then they ceded control of that portion of the country to the federal government, who sort of created what is now known as the Northern Territory.
Gotcha. Rolly Mall, welcome in. How are you doing, sir? Really good to see you. Rolly Mall is a fellow flight sim streamer, another resident of Australia. And Rolly Mall and, oh gosh, I'm going to get myself in trouble now. Rolly Mall, Sergeant Staff, Splasher 6, Foxtrot, and a couple other streamers I should not have even started. Yesterday did a stream. Each one took a different spot flying across the United States, the arrow route of the old U.S. mail route. So they actually follow arrows on the ground. That was really awesome, Rolly Mall. Welcome in. How did that stream go?
First of all, I'm
Wheels up. Thank you for the follow.
What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober!
Thank you so much for that follow, Wheels Up. How are you doing? Thank you for the Mario death also, Wheels Up. Appreciate that.
Yeah, this lighthouse took 2 years to be constructed, largely because of the nature of the climate up here, wet and dry seasons. They could only work in the dry season, and also all the materials, because they decided not to build it out of steel due to the weather. All the materials were shipped over from Melbourne, and they couldn't get very close to the site, so they had to build a jetty and a tramway to transport the materials from the unloaded ships to the lighthouse, and they could only do two journeys on that tramway each day.
Oh, wow.
So it was a long, laborious process. Yeah.
Almost as long as it probably took them to create it in Flight Sim, huh?
No, I think the lighthouse man has got lighthouses down to a fine art now. It probably only takes him 20 minutes to knock one up. and then once the lighthouse was actually built, just before it was due to be opened, the tower was hit by an earthquake.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. The structure itself wasn't damaged, but it resulted in 12 kilos of mercury being spilt because the rotating part of the tower is floated in a bath of mercury, or it was in those days, and they had to get that replaced before they could actually start operating it.
Wow. Talk about environmental hazard. Dang. Wheels Up, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, it wouldn't get past planning approval these days, I don't think.
No, not at all. So yeah, Rolling Mall, that's a good question Chronico had. Oops. Are the arrows on the ground visible in the sim, or is there a mod that adds them? I think the answer to that question, Chronico, is some are visible and some aren't in the sim, but I could be wrong on that. And by the way, I'm not going to land at this airport or even do a touch and go. I'm just going to overfly it. So if you typed a prediction in, that's cool, but it'll carry over to the next landing. Oh, nice. Heck yeah, watch it on a 60-inch screen. That's amazing. So if you'd like to fly along though, this airport right here is Yankee Charlie Papa Delta. Go ahead and spawn in here and fly along with us. We're on Southeast Asia server. Everyone's welcome. Fly what you want to and fly how you want to. I did that just for you, Kev. I just thought of something else. Oh, there's a mod called Arrows Across America. Cool. That's good to know. Wait, I didn't mean to do that. Shoot. Hang on a minute. Can I drag this out too? I gotta figure that out, because I would like to get the pause button out to break it out of the wheel, so I can pause at will. especially like with the lighthouse. I want to pause and get some screenshots of it. No problem, Infidel Fireman. It seems it's Land's End if you fly further. I'm in Indonesia. Yes, and we actually visited Indonesia a while back. We're just gonna visit this lighthouse and then we're gonna turn to a heading of 231.
Yeah, it's going to be a sharp left turn after this, guide.
Yes, sir. I'm probably gonna circle it a few times. So I like lighthouses almost as much as the lighthouse guy on Microsoft Flight Sim does. So this is the Cape Don Lighthouse in Australia. I'd say what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an active pause and then break the drone out and go visit it. Let's do that. Where is my pause button? There we go. Do the drone cam. So all these structures here are the residences from years ago when it had to be manned. Wow, very well done lighthouse.
Yeah, I think there were 3 residences and a, you know, a lot of supporting sheds and stuff like that. The only thing that annoys me about a suburb is when they make things, lighthouses, airports, you can never go inside them.
Yeah, I know that kind of sucks because I would love to be able to go inside it and see, but it just pops you right out. Nice flyby. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Oh, Hallie's flying along also. Welcome in, Mariner Hallie. Tell you what, let me see if I can get a shot of a lot of these people flying along here with us as well from different directions. Yeah, Branding Iron. I thought about that after I said that because it's not its own separate widget. It's just basically a button. So that makes sense that it's not pushable, or not that it's not pushable, not pop-outable, I guess you can say. Very nicely done, though. I mean, and like you said, Oz, I do wish that they would make the interiors where you could see them better, but well done.
It's a pretty good effort. Yeah, it brings it to life a bit.
Yeah, it does. No complaints. Not many complaints. Peeping Tom the bulb was naked. Was there a road to the lighthouse? You know what? There should be, but you know what? I didn't pay any attention to it, to be honest with you.
No, I wasn't really looking as we flew over either, but according to my notes, there is a 4-wheel drive road that goes all the way to the lighthouse. Yeah.
Yeah, you said that. Trim up a little bit. There we go. Get a little bit of positive rate here as I climb just a little bit. Snake Bay. I did almost go for a swim for sure, Branding Iron. I wasn't paying any attention to how low I was. I was just working on the autopilot. So we are making a heading of 231 right now. So 231 is the heading. Thank you for asking. You had to drop out and go to bed. Oh my gosh, Hallie, no problem at all, man. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you a lot, Mariner Hallie. It means so much to me to have so many people fly along, and also so many amazing streamers that jump in and fly along with me also. I really, really do appreciate that. Take care of yourself. And once again, a shout out for Mariner Hallie, good friend of the community here and an awesome streamer from UK. Come on, shout out button, work for me here. There we go. There's a shout out for Hallie. Yeah, I will see you on your stream, because now that I'm back to work, I'll be lurking at work and jump in. Sometimes I have some time to chat with streamers. Sometimes I just have to lurk. But yeah, I'll be looking for you for sure. Yeah, I've been nice to my engine lately. So on this WV sim, it actually, you'll lose oil, and if you firewall it, if you go too fast, your engine life will go down really quickly as well. So I didn't realize that, and I was flying wide open during my daily flights, and it killed my engine really quick. So I've been trying to be a little bit easier on it. Beethoven, I don't have a map command, but I can pull it up for you. There you go. Probably is a good idea though to have a map command that would pop this map up periodically. There's always something that you can, be working on with your stream. And I always think of always thinking of something to enhance the stream or make it more interactive or whatever, as most streamers do. Oh, really, Branding Iron? That's interesting. Thank you for that, dude. I love Flow so much. I just discovered today. So I've got a virtual airline called Parasox Air, and I just realized that they have FS Hub dashboard that'll take you to the FS Hub dashboard if you click on it, which I don't have it set to pop up on stream, but it will take me right to my airline's dashboard where I can look at things. It's so intuitive. So intuitive.
Flying now towards the Tiwi Islands, which means two islands in one of the local languages. But in fact, there are the two main large islands here coming up, Melville and Bathurst, and there's about 9 smaller uninhabited ones dotted around. The islands were actually created at the end of the last ice age, about 12,000 years ago. And this land, that used to all be land, was flooded somewhere between 8,000 and 10,000 years ago. And the story of that flooding is actually still remains in the Dreamtime stories of the local peoples, which have been handed down, generation after generation.
Oh, wow.
Because they, of course, have been here for several tens of thousands of years.
Oh, nice. Branding iron. I wasn't aware of that either. I got to check that out. And what I would love, and I don't know how to do it, is to put my logo. And I know Two-Tone Murphy's done it, some other people, but my logo is round, to put my my Scruffy Tam logo right here in the wheel. I would love to work that out. Okay, Drop Bear, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for flying along. It's like I said, it's been an amazing group flight tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you get better. Sleep well, my friend, and get some rest. Get better. A lot of people have either the flu or COVID again, at least in my area. It's been going around. Oh, Kiwi Aussie, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. I appreciate that. And I actually set up my lights to where it does, yeah, branding. That's awesome. I've got my lights set up to where there's a lot of automation as well, with bits, with subs, raids, and some other things too that are just automated. So branding, do you know how I can go in and put my logo in as the circle? Oh yeah, thank you so much, Nuss. Good to see you. I hope your weekend has been good also, Nuss. It really is. It's kind of a it's kind of a purple chrome, isn't it? And that's why it reflects off the. A lot of people think that my flaps are down because of the way it reflects the sun. Sleep listening. Oh, nice, Kaharia. I hope I'm able to put you to sleep. I don't always like to put my viewers to sleep, but when it's in the middle of the night for you, yes, I hope I do put you to sleep. No problem, branding. I can look into it. Darwin is the lightning capital of the world. I did not know that. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we had loads of lightning when we were flying around the other day, didn't we?
Yes, we did. That was pretty crazy, actually. You were playing football today in Germany. It was great. Nice. Good deal. So were you playing Nuss, or were you watching? Uh-oh, wait a minute. I've got issues. Every now and then, if I go too slow and the headwinds are too strong, my plane wants to pitch up and stall, and I just happened to catch it right before I started stalling. You played? I didn't really. Okay, so when you told me that you were going to a football game, I knew you meant soccer, but I didn't know that you were playing. That's awesome. So did you win? Did your team win? Oh, hot solid 8 Celsius, ashes, hard rain. Oh man, that's rough.
Aussie rules football is very popular on the TV islands, and in fact, with Indigenous communities all around Australia, there's a lot of Indigenous players in the Aussie rules league over here.
So, is it the same for you guys then, Oz, where football is soccer, what we call soccer over here? And what's the difference in Aussie rules and normal, like UK soccer or football?
Okay, what I call football, because I'm from England with a round ball,
right,
is referred to as either here. Some people call it soccer, some people call it football. But Aussie rules football is played with the oval squash ball. Oh. It's the handle. It's a bit like rugby.
Gotcha.
Where like you run around with the ball, but there are certain different rules, and it's actually quite different from a game of rugby in many ways. But it's quite an exciting game. I've never got into it fully, but I've been to see a few games, and it's certainly exciting to watch. Yeah, I think it's got a strong link with Gaelic football actually, because quite often Aussie rules football teams will go over to Ireland and play Gaelic football against the Irish.
Nice. Thank you. I learned, I have learned so much as not only a streamer over my like 2.5 years, but just in the Australian tour, I've learned a ton. So thank you for that.
Yeah, on the islands here, there's several means of getting to and fro. There's a commercial flight operator that sort of partnered with the local Indigenous Association, and they fly regular flights around the communities on the islands. And there's a flight to Darwin daily, I think. There's also a Sea Link ferry operating services between the island and Darwin, and it's about a 2.5 each way trip on the ferry between here and Darwin.
Oh wow. So it is linked to Gaelic football. That's cool. I gotta look that up. That's interesting. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think one of the prime differences with Gaelic football, I think they play with a round ball, though I'm not entirely certain of that.
I like learning all the stuff. Now this widget I do keep pulled up a lot, just because I like to keep up with the wind direction and stuff, but I love that I can minimize it too and just drag it or put it wherever the heck I want to put it. No, not garlic, Gaelic. Yeah. Garlic football. It's when you play in prison and meet face to face with the guy who never brushed his teeth, right? My next flight plan. So Beethoven, the next flight plan. I leave that up to Oz. Oz has been just fantastically willing to take this up and run with it. So I'm not sure what the next flight plan is. I will be posting it on Microsoft Flight Sim forum calendar and also in my Discord. So if you're not already in my Discord, jump in my Discord. Just type in !Discord, and I'll post the flight plans as soon as I get them.
Yeah, just as a teaser, on the next leg, we'll probably be flying south out of Darwin and down sort of inland from the coast, but generally south and perhaps a little bit west. We're basically going to be heading into Western Australia over the next couple of flights or so now.
Nice. Oh, Ashley, tearing up before bed, how you don't do well with sad parts in games and films. What game what game or film were you watching, Ashley, that made you sad? Really? No, is that true though, that you have to bounce the ball every 3 meters to be respectful of the kangaroos? I'm not sure if that's just someone trolling me or if that's true. It's not true. Okay, thank you. Because I saw a couple people say that you had to bounce it every 3 meters. I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds like a mixture of basketball, football, rugby, and soccer. What the heck? You do have to bounce the ball though. Okay. What's up, Speedy? How are you doing? How you feeling, man? Do we follow this channel between two islands with high, wait a minute. With high tide currents? In hand pass only or kit. Gotcha. Okay. Genshin Impact.
I think
Oh, wow.
Beethoven in that comment was talking about the horizontal waterfalls over in WA, and yes, we will be going there. They're not brilliantly represented in the sim, but the scenery around that area is quite beautiful.
Gotcha. Thank you, Oz. I was curious. I was wondering about that. And Ashley, yes, Genshin Impact is a beautiful game. I actually got it when it first came out, but I couldn't really get into it because the controller that I had, it was just difficult for me to play it with the controller I had, and I kind of gave up on it because I like motion controls, and mine didn't have motion controls, and it wasn't compatible with Genshin at the time. But you play on mouse and keyboard, God bless you. That's pretty tough. Nuss. That's a good one. But yeah, Ashley, I love, I really enjoyed Genshin Impact and several other games that I played. And it's amazing how video games can pull on our emotions. I played one game, Unravel. If any of y'all play anything else other than Flight Sim, when I was a variety streamer, I played Unravel, and it really reminded me of my dad, who's been passed away since 2009. And at the very last stream, I shed a few tears on the last stream of that game. Beethoven, that's pretty good. The only thing I knew about Australia, or I thought I knew before I started this, was they have crocodiles, they've got deadly snakes, deadly I was gonna say rats, what, deadly spiders, and I thought it was all desert, so I've learned a ton. Yeah, me too, Falling Up. It's really an awesome game. It's really fun. It's the type of game I loved. Box Jellyfish too. Yes, Ori is amazing. I played both Ori games and finished them. I've 100%ed both of those.
Yeah, Factual and Captain Arash have been playing some other games on occasion recently that have been quite interesting.
Yeah.
Sort of Factual's ones are based around sort of moral choices as you go through the game, so you can affect the direction it goes in. That was fascinating.
Yeah.
And Captain Arash was replaying The Last of Us before it launches on TV.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and I haven't had time to watch. I think I watched the first two of that Last of Us, but I haven't had a chance to watch his other streams. But it's kind of got me considering doing like Flight Sim on Twitch, but then playing some other games on YouTube. But just, it's time for me. I just don't have a lot of time for all that. Thank you for shouting out Sterlo Gaming and Fiddle Fireman. What is it? What's the Shella? Chili Willy, what's up, Chili Willy? How are you doing, man?
Not Shella. I think he means Sheila.
Yeah, Sheila's a derogatory term, really, for females in Australia. Not used very much these days. Not used very much anymore at all.
Gotcha. I totally saw that as two L's, not an I and an L. Sorry about that. What's up, Chili Willy? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Chili Willy is another Flight Sim streamer, and a variety streamer also. I spent some time over on his channel a few days ago. Great guy though. Let me give Chili Willy a follow. Kurt Deasy, thank you for 200 bits. Kurt Deasy, sheesh. I didn't give you a shout out either. I didn't give you a shout out a little while ago. Kurt Deasy is another Flight Sim streamer. Great friend of the community. Y'all, I have been horrible about not talking about all my Flight Sim friends. Kurt Deasy's another streamer. Another good friend of the community, and a great overall, really good supporter of mine, and awesome streamer. Go follow Kurt Deasy as well. You swear you saw a crocodile in the mangrove? Chili is that hot pepper, right? So I like hot, like spicy foods, but I don't like it so spicy that you just don't get any flavor with it. I like I like the flavor, the spice that has some flavor to it, you know? Yeah, Kev Simcorn, I couldn't believe that in the middle of, in the middle of a potty break, I remembered that I hadn't shouted Kev Simcorner out. What? That's how my brain works. Sorry about that. The further we come west over, the more red becomes soil. Oh, yeah. Oh, awesome, Speedy. Glad to hear it, man. I'm glad you're doing better. Nahida, the arc. Ghost pepper wings from Popeyes. I have not seen those advertised. Do we have I don't think we have a Popeyes in my town though. Oh, nice, Nuss. That's pretty awesome. I know, right, Kev? Right? Oh, wow, Nuss. That's pretty cool. Yes, it is. Oh yeah, I bet they are too, Nuss. I love big band music. This is good stuff right here. That's why I cranked it up a little bit. What's up, Cisco? How you doing, man? Welcome in. Good to see you. Happy Sunday evening to you. Excuse me for yawning. Sheesh. Oh, a test question. It's been a while. When warm, moist, stable air flows upslope, it's let's go. I was just waiting on it. I think the flaps are down. How did I know that? What? Ooh, Infinite Fire, man. It's been a while. B Bravo. I'm pretty sure it's Bravo. Now, there's only one correct answer on that, but I'm pretty sure it is Bravo. Yeah, and like, so if I was a really popular trumpeter, I was trying to think of what is the term, what do you call somebody who plays the trumpet? Is it a trumpeter? If I was a very popular trumpeter, or whatever you call them, then I would that would probably be my thing too. I wouldn't, you know, I would let my, not that I'd let it, not that I would let it be uncared for, but I would want it to be, have a unique patina. Trump dude. That's it. Trump dude. I would want it to have a unique patina, and not be like super polished brass. I'd want it to be kind of dull and, you know, look well used, but to each their own, right? It's kind of like, you know, do you like matte black or polished black? You know, I kind of like the matte black. Trumpeters, it's great. Thank you, Sesko.
Interested on the islands here, by the way, primarily logging which there are still some managed plantations here that produce timber these days. And sand mining, which I believe has come to an end now, but they used to get a lot of good quality sand out of here, primarily zircon, I think. I think that's the one that's kind of a fake diamond, zircons.
Oh yeah, zirconia. How many hours have I got in flying, says Go, and like in real life or in the sim? I have 0.6 of an hour in real life, just because I finally had to get real with myself about my, thank you, on Microsoft Flight Sim, almost 700.
And the TV Islanders are also known for their wood carvings. They're especially fond of wood carvings of birds and other things. I've put a couple of photos of those into the Discord.
Oh, nice, thank you. Captain Arash, welcome in. Captain Arash is another awesome flight sim streamer. Captain Arash is probably who I align myself most with. We both are big fans of the classic 172 Cessna. We both fly the WB Sim modded Cessna. However, I'm nowhere near as knowledgeable as Captain Arash is with navigation. So Captain Arash flies not cellular navigation, celestial navigation. Doesn't use GPS. Very, very smart individual. But we both have a real love for this aircraft. We also are both very passionate about people and flying as well. So Captain Arash is probably who I align myself mostly with in the flight sim community. Love Captain Arash a lot. Very wholesome streamer also. Go give Captain Arash a follow if you don't already. Welcome in. Good to see you. You're welcome for the shout out. Man, I can't wait to meet you at Flight Sim Expo. Oh, thank you. It reminds you of corporate soulless streamers. Thank you, Sesgo. So the reason I'm doing this background now instead of my green screen is these lights are actually interactive. So you guys can type in commands in chat and change the lights. When I get a follow, the lights change. When I get a raid, the lights change. There we go. Bit subs, a bunch of different things will change the lights. But there is a cooldown. There is a cooldown between them. Oh yeah, Captain Arash did an amazing stream Saturday. It was really, really cool. How did it end up, Captain Arash? So when I ended stream, of course I had some things I had to do, but when I came back, you and Celestial Navigator, where you thought you may have been lost, were you on track? Did you get all that sorted out? But man, I was really intrigued. Yes, I do crash a lot more. That's why I don't have a crash counter, because it would be really high by now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to find some time to watch that VOD in pieces. I think it was about 9 or 11 hours, wasn't it?
It was a long one, yeah. That is one thing that I had told myself I was going to do during my Christmas break, was learn celestial navigation, but I procrastinated and put some other things ahead of it and never did get around to it. All right, in just a few miles, we'll be turning southward to a heading of 188. It really was. It was very intriguing. What I watched of it was very intriguing. drifted quite a lot due to the nature of the North Pole, but eventually you were able to find your destination. Oh man, that is so cool, Captain Arash. Yeah, when I jumped in, I don't remember what I was fooling with the lights. I was programming my lights and had you up in the background listening. And yeah, you sounded really nervous, like you were off. Oh no, that's no, Kev Sim Corner. I love it. I love it. Someone's got to keep me straight. So thank you for being the one to set me straight every now and then. More often than not. Oh, nice. Parasox is officially over 700 flights. Holy crap. So Parasox Air is the virtual airline that Infinite Fireman taught me into creating. And I'm so thankful for it. It has grown tremendously. We got 43 pilots, have logged over 700 flights in only 6 weeks. Really cool. And I have flown way more off stream now than I ever have. Oh yeah, Captain Arash, I mean, literally watching you, because I was kind of, like I said, in between working on my lights and watching the stream. The look on your face and the way you were talking, you would think that you were in a real plane and that you were lost. It was the most immersive. I mean, it was really cool. Very good job. Oh man, you're welcome. Thank you. 3 hours past your bedtime because of Genshin. Hey, I understand. Take care, Ashley. Thank you, Ashley, for being one of the pilots in Parasox Air and for flying Parasox Air. I appreciate it. Take care. Sleep well, my friend. Another flight tomorrow. Nice. Get those socks. Get those socks. So we do award our pilots socks. Some people are gonna have to get bigger sock drawers. They got a bunch of socks. Man, the winds are blowing us all over the place. C-130 flying now, flying low. Welcome in. I'm just now seeing your username, but there's a lot of user tags that are all bunched in there together. And if I'm not mistaken, everyone here is with us. This is really, really amazing. This is really cool. I love this screenshot that I'm fixing to do too, because it's a representation of the Scruffy Tam community with all these in the background. That's awesome. Oh, Armanad has the lead.
I think the locals down on the ground must wonder what the hell's going on today. Probably never seen this many aircraft in one go.
I know, right? I thought that was a pretty cool screenshot with my plane with the Scruffy Tam on it and the community in the background. It's really awesome. The socks are okay as long as it's not sucks. Yeah, it's SOCKS. Aramon, yeah, so I do have a stream schedule. I try my very best to keep my Twitch schedule. So I think if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see below the Twitch screen, it'll say schedule. If you click on that, also my Discord and on the Microsoft Flight Sim events calendar. I try to keep all of those updated. Discord is probably the best place. Okay, no problem, Oz. Discord's probably where I keep them updated the most. I'm in Discord a lot. Dorafly, what's up, Dorafly? Welcome in. Good to see you. Dorafly is another flight sim streamer, friend of the community, also a variety streamer as well. Good to see you, Dorafly. Make sure your sock awards aren't your old. No. That's what I do with my old socks. I mean, I got to do something with my old socks, so I give them away as awards to pilots. Y'all can wash them and reuse them. I mean, sheesh. Don't you know there's people on eBay that buy used clothing from people? I might post some on eBay. Worn once by Scruffy Tam. Oh, you didn't see it below. No problem, man. Thank you, Airman. Somewhere on Twitch there is a schedule for me. I was thinking it was below. I was thinking it was below, but I could be wrong on that. Oh, you know what? I am wrong. What? Maybe when it's off. Maybe when I'm off stream is when that shows up. Sorry about that. Gave you false information. Do not do my boxers. Gotta love sniffing socks if you gotta be a pair of socks pilot. Nah, totally just joking. I love what I do. I love what I do in real life. Like, this isn't real life. I hate when I say that. I love what I do for my full-time job, and I love what I do here on Twitch. I'm very blessed to be able to stream as often as I do, and I've been hugely, tremendously blessed with an amazing community of people who are all of like mind in the flight sim community, and some that aren't flight simmers. But I will never take that for granted, because I am nothing. I say it a lot. I am nothing without you guys. And I appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, Beethoven, that's a good idea. Just in case. And I doubt they will get lost, but just in case he gets lost and has to do an emergency landing in the Arctic, in the North Pole Arctic, then they'll have some warm socks. Infidel Fireman. Ba-doom-tsh. Infidel Fireman used to have a few jokes about pairs of matching socks, but he lost one. Kev, my wife would agree with you.
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
All right, let me look and see where. Looking at runways at Darwin. Okay, so there's only one run. No, there's two runways. Okay. Which way are the winds coming in? Accidentally closed my weather app. So, look in that direction. Yeah, we can just fly straight in. We can fly straight into runway 18. Probably our best bet, actually. 4, 29, 18. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a split between 18 and 29. I'll just fly into run at 18, unless the winds change. I know, right, Mario? It does kind of sound like it. So my stream audio mix, my stream music mix, is a big mixture of big band, kind of techno stuff, a lot of different styles of music, and it kind of represents so I have a diverse love of music. I love all sorts of music. Actually, I'm not a big fan of country music, though. But pretty much all other types of music I enjoy. I mean, I'll listen to country music, but I don't enjoy it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, one day you'll hear me listening to, like yesterday and today, Whitesnake. I was listening to the original Whitesnake album. And then you'll hear me listening to, you know, whatever. I've never been to Hoedown. Actually, yes. You think runway 29 is the one to go? Yeah, it looks like the winds are shifting a little bit. So the winds are coming out of 2. Yeah, you know what? They're coming out of 2.8. So yeah, 2.9 probably is a little bit better. There were more, oh, the winds are according to METAR. Okay. So yeah, I didn't check the METAR at the airport, but yeah, if they're 300, coming out of 300 at 16 knots, then yeah, 2.9 is the way to go then. Thank you. So I need to change my heading just a touch more of a eastern. There we go. Oh, did you really, Fruity? Man, see, when I was a kid and a teenager, my parents wouldn't let me go to any of those concerts. I had to pay my buddies to get me like a Motley Crue t-shirt and a Rat t-shirt and stuff, but my parents wouldn't let me go to those concerts. And oh man, I would love to have gone to, and Van Halen, I'm a huge Van Halen fan. Oh, thank you, Kev. So 2.9 is a good choice. Appreciate that. I'm not a big fan of the Sammy Hagar days. Yes, we're heading south right now, Airman. Oh, you saw Van Halen at Monsters of Rock in '88? Oh, man. Man. Van Halen 1984 tour was your first concert? Dude. Oh, that's okay, Aramon. No worries, man. I'm not a real big fan of the Sammy Hagar days. There are some of the songs where Sammy Hagar was lead that I do like, just because it brings back memories of my teen years, of course. Oh, dude, yes. Yeah, Eddie Van Halen, I was shocked when he passed away, but I mean, he smoked one after the other after the other. You saw Metallica? Nice. Wind sock, it might be one of my missing socks. So yeah, when Sammy took over lead, yes, I mean, I'll agree, Mongo, 5150 is a good album because, and the only reason I say that, like I said, I'm not a big fan of Sammy Hagar, but 5150, so let's go back in time to 1986 or so, when I drove a 1972 Volkswagen Bug that was like, it was a rat rod. I mean, it wasn't that old, but it was a piece, it looked rough. And I'm driving from South Carolina to Winston-Salem, North Carolina to a bug bash. Now we're talking a 5-hour drive in a beat up 1972 Volkswagen Bug. 5150 had just come out and my buddy that was riding with me had it. And we popped in the CD, no, we didn't pop the CD in. Heck no, we didn't. We popped in the cassette tape, and 5150 has a special place just because those songs, as soon as I hear that song, I'm on my way back to Winston-Salem in my old Volkswagen. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Yes, exactly, Chronico, exactly. Other than that, I'm not a big fan of Sammy. Yeah, exactly, Airmon.
approaching Darwin now, which is the capital of the Northern Territory. It's the smallest capital and probably the least developed as well. There's about 160,000 people live in Darwin, compared to several million in most of the other Australian capital cities. It's also pretty low rise as well. There's no huge skyscrapers here in the CBD or downtown, as the Americans call it. I think that the tallest building would be like 5 or 6 stories high, something like that.
Oh, wow.
There was about 10,000 Australian and Allied troops stationed here during the war.
Interesting.
And Darwin itself did actually get bombed by Japanese warplanes.
So my very first, oh, go ahead, Oz.
I was just going to say, but the most famous destructive event that happened here was in December, Christmas Day, 1974. Cyclone Tracy struck the town, killed 71 people and destroyed over 70% of the city's buildings, including a lot of the older stone buildings that were around at the time. I mean, it was all rebuilt subsequently to higher cyclone-proof standards. So, you know, hopefully the same thing is not going to happen again.
Wow, that's horrible. So my very first metal cassette that I ever got was Def Leppard's first big album. I can't remember the name of it now. Pyromania. Pyromania was my first Def Leppard album. I was a huge Def Leppard. We'll tour the city after we land Cappy Stick, I think. We'll tour the city after that. I'll get the drone out and we'll fly around, because it's kind of difficult to fly the Cessna around to tour a city. But yeah, we'll do that with the drone. Yeah, so Def Leppard was my first one. And then I think my second one was Diver Down. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Sorry, Stuffy. I keep interrupting.
That's all right. No, you're good.
I was just going to say, many of aviation's early pioneers came to Darwin on trips around the world, and that, including Amy Johnson, Amelia Earhart, Charles Kingsford Smith, and Bert Hinkler. And there was originally a Qantas Empire Airways hangar here, which is a registered heritage site now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the museum here, the aviation museum, is actually very interesting. They got a B-52 here, complete, which was donated by the US Air Force at some point. And that's the sort of centerpiece of the museum, and there's lots of other historical aircraft dotted around it.
Oh, cool. Now this city is it? Are there details on at this, like the museum you're talking about, like there were at the Qantas Museum, or no? Is it represented well in the sim?
No, they're not to that extent. No, I think some buildings in the CBD are represented in the sim, or at least it's photogrammetry over that area, but nothing like what we did at Longreach. No, there's no sort of static aircraft sitting around for you to view and that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there is in real life, obviously, but not in the sim.
Right. Okay. Yeah, and you know, actually, as big a fan as I was of, and yes, Branding Iron, I do remember 8 tracks. I owned a few of them. Yes, me too. The Walkman. What? I wish I had a real appreciation for Rush back in the day, but I didn't really appreciate Rush as much as I should have, because I was so much into the hair metal and not so much into the Rush type of music. But over the last, I think about 10 years ago, through a video game, actually, someone introduced me to Rush, and they said, seriously, sit down and listen to Rush, listen to their lyrics, listen to the music. It is genius. And man, dude, Neil Peart, I mean, seriously, they were amazing. Do I remember the band Salad? Never heard of the band Salad before. Oh, dude, Quiet Riot, Mario. Like Quiet Riot was my all-time favorite. Quiet Riot was, I had a striped shirt and I had big hair back then too, so I kind of looked like Kevin DuBrow. Dude, I blasted, and I had a big old freaking car that wasn't a Cadillac, but I had a Buick Electra 225, and so I would blast slick black Cadillac in my boombox in the back seat. Oh man, I love Quiet Riot. Oh yeah, Twisted Sister, yep. NWA was your first cassette, nice. Yes, Randy Rhoads did start with Quiet Riot, and there is a, when Napster was a thing, yes, Jeffrey, exactly. When Napster was a thing, I probably shouldn't have allowed that word, that could get me in trouble later. When Napster was a thing, there was actually a track that I got that had Randy Rhoads on guitar and Kevin DuBrow introducing him, and that was like a total revelation for me. I was like, what? Randy Rhoads was the guitarist for Quiet Riot? And yes, that's where he got to start. Infant a Fireman. Wow, that's funny. Thank you for accepting that word. We're yeah, my bot. Well, I've got my bot set on the highest settings, and you got to remember, when I was a variety streamer, there was a lot more trolls and stuff that would come in. So I set my bot to the highest settings. I probably need to relax that a little bit now. Yeah, Randy Rhoads was amazing. But from what I can understand, Kevin DuBrow was pretty much a jerk. And that's one of the reasons why the band broke up after only 3 albums, and why, well, actually they broke up twice. They were another name, and then Kevin DuBrow got back together again with, or decided to create another band, and it was Quiet Riot, and they did 3 albums, and they broke up because he was such a jerk. Yeah, Dorafly, the flight sim community is absolutely amazing. No, Airman, I did that on purpose just so I could have a good straight shot into the runway. I'm changing my course now. Oh yeah, branding iron. That made me so mad when it would eat tapes. Oh really, Chronico? I didn't realize that Bob Dylan was a jerk. Actually, you know what? Well, I don't think I have Facebook on this computer. Hang on, let me see if I can log into Facebook. I've got a picture of me. No, I don't. Shoot. I'll post a picture of me in Discord from when I was back then. Like, I think I was in 11th grade. My hair was really, really curly, and I tried to grow it out long, but it wouldn't grow long. It just got big. So picture me with Kevin DuBrow hair. Oh, ZZ Top, man. ZZ Top is amazing. I like ZZ Top as well. And then I remembered when ZZ Top changed from their original sound to the newer, more modern sound. I can't remember what album that was, but so many people were really upset that they changed from their old school stuff, and then they got the electric drum kit and stuff. A lot of people were pretty upset about that. I mean, ZZ Top is one of those really unique bands to where it's kind of hard to classify what they are, but I can see them being put in the metal category though. I guess they're more of a, is that what we would consider today a grunge rock band maybe? How would you classify ZZ Top? Southern rock, there you go, Southern rock. Thank you, Jeffrey. Kind of like Iron Maiden and stuff. Yeah, Mongo, that's same. I mean, my dad was a classical music, not classical, big band and jazz. So I really wasn't exposed to metal music until I was a teenager in middle school. And then like my eyes were open big time. And I'll never forget my first experience with Van Halen besides Diver Down was in high school when 1984 came out. And I know what year it was too, because it was 1984 and I was in the 10th grade, 9th grade. Was I in the 9th grade then? No, I was in the 10th grade. 1984, I was in the 10th grade, and a guy that I really didn't know was sitting next to me in class, and he had the 1984 album with Van Halen, and it was so controversial where I lived because of the album cover was super controversial. Ooh, Chronico, that's a good one. Really, Jeffrey? Seriously? Wow. The first one that really gave me chills. Holy crap. You know, Chronico, the first one that comes to mind, and you know, in 1984, that's around the time that MTV was first a thing, and it was real videos then. Was probably Quiet Riot, Come on the Feel the Noise. I loved that music video. I was big into Quiet Riot at the time, and that music video just kind of solidified it. So when someone asks me that question, that's the first thing that comes to my mind, is not only the song but the music video to go along with it. So yeah, I've got to say, probably, yeah, Really Bad Stutters. Oh, for you is Crazy Train? Nice. Yeah, man. MTV, the good old days of MTV were just freaking awesome, man. See how low I can get my landing right here. Come on, Scruff, don't get off the runway. Ah, crap. Oh, I did do a sub 100. I tried to do a sub 100 and got it. Nice. Nice. Not as good as I hoped, but not bad, not bad. And then thank you, Captain Rosh. And then once I got into more of the metal type music, my parents still would not let me listen to AC/DC, Kiss, several other ones like that were, you know, kind of like really edgy. So I wasn't allowed to listen to them. And again, I just recently, in the last probably 20 years, really got into and appreciated Kiss. And let me tell you, Kiss, they are marketing geniuses. Oh, Headbangers Ball. Yes, I remember that. Oh, no problem, Beethoven. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you hanging out for so long, man. It's always nice talking to you and everybody else. I'm just kind of taxiing over here where I saw most nameplates. And then I'm going to jump in the drone and do a tour of the city. Oz, which way should I go to tour the city? Or is there a whole lot to see?
Basically head southeast from there. It's not huge, but there are some POIs there. You might want to turn your POIs on to find them.
Oh, okay, cool. I've got POIs on, so that'll work great. All right, let's do this. I am gonna have to speed up my drone cam, so what I'm gonna do is the old school. I've got it here somewhere. There we go. REO Speedwagon. So I've got a memory on REO Speedwagon too. Yeah, Golden Earring. REO Speedwagon. I've got some cousins that live in Florida, and they lived on a lot of acres of land, and we were just kind of free to do whatever the heck we wanted to do. And I remember listening to REO Speedwagon. So that brings back that memory. Oh, for sure, Aramon. Yes. The Loverboy cover for Get Lucky. Yes, for sure. All right, not a lot to see right there. Let's go to the city. Red Rider. I've never heard of Red Rider. All right, so this is Museum of the Northern Territory. Mongo, thank you for the 100 biddies. All right, I'm gonna slow the drone down now. So here.
There's a couple of nice beaches in Darwin, and there's a very pretty purpose-built like foreshore area, which should be a little bit further on from here, where they put some breakwaters in and sort of grills and stuff to close it off from the ocean, keep the crocs out, and they've made they've sort of built a beach there, and yeah, around this area. Or is it? Hang on, just trying to see where we are. And there's the whole area is just beautiful. There's a huge grassed area with timber furniture on it and sun umbrellas and cushions and all sorts. It's a great place to go for the day and just lounge around there, go for a swim. And there's lots of play equipment on the water for the kids, and you can hire kayaks and paddle around that sort of closed-in area. It's really nice. Lots of apartment buildings around it on the upper floors, and then the ground floor of all of those is sort of taken up with eating establishments, cafes and so forth, where you can get a nice meal.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this is beautiful. In Kaharia, no, I've not heard of Blind Guardian. Where are they out of? Oh. You just had a heli slam into your airplane. Yeah, all the boats are sunk. I like how some of the things are 3D modeled, and then some of the cars and some of the boats are just like there.
Yeah, this is the man-made kind of area here. I'm not sure how well represented it is in the sim. There's on that jetty or on that breakwater just to your left there's a Royal Flying Doctor Museum, which is quite interesting to look around. There's one of their old aircraft in there, and a lot of history, and a lot of history about Cyclone Tracy too. And that area just off to the right, which looks a little bit like a squashed opera house, that's kind of the area where all the eateries and that are.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it really is a shame this isn't better represented.
Actually, you can see. Oh yeah, look, Royal Flying Doctor Service on the roof of that building there.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Yeah, but it's a lovely place to come for a day. There's enough, to see in this little area, and you can spend quite a nice, relaxing day there.
So this waterfront lagoon, this is where you're talking about that they have all the umbrellas and stuff, where you can kind of just chill and
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can see the sort of sandy area there, and I say it's all been enclosed. The water goes in and out through various sort of grills along that breakwater, but sharks and so forth can't get in, so it's perfectly safe to swim around in.
Very, very nice. Now, what are these storage?
Yeah, I think those would just be oil and gas, probably oil, fuel, and that storage container.
Gotcha.
And obviously, it's a big port too. Lots of stuff comes in and out through this port from Asia and other places.
Gotcha. Yeah. As I was backing up, I noticed that I saw the port. I said, "Oh, yeah, that's what it is."
Yeah, there's some nice beaches which you pass sort of on the way down here, but a little bit further north. One of them has, I think it's twice weekly market, which is really interesting. Lots of handcrafts and stuff there, and again, great food vans and so forth. And it's an evening market, so it's a nighttime thing. And there's a place in town called Crocosaurus. It's right in the centre of the city, but it's like a zoo, if you like, for sharks and lots of other reptiles and so forth. They've got there. They do shark feeding displays there. Crocodiles.
Oh, neat.
They do crocodile feeding there. You can go and swim with the crocodiles if you want. They've got a it's not a cage, it's like a perspex box that you with holes in the bottom. You go inside it and they lower it into the water, so the sharks come right up to the perspex if you're brave enough. And I keep saying sharks.
That's all right. You got sharks on your mind.
Mrs. Oz is shouting at me.
Oh man.
We didn't do the swimming with sharks, but we just went to have a look. Yep, done it again. I've got sharks on my brain, Stuffy. It must be the heat. It's 38 degrees here today.
Oh, good gosh. Har, thank you so much for the compliment. Kaharia, so the only German band that comes to mind that I was a huge fan of was, yes, I did Branding Iron, the Osmonds. For sure, dude. I would crawl under my seat. The only German band that really comes to mind that I was a huge fan of was the Scorpions. I love the Scorpions.
I'll put a couple of photos of Darwin into the Discord.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, Chile, I did. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Accept. Also, Mongo. Yes, Accept. Yes, balls to the wall. Sorry. Let me get a couple screenshots of the airport with everybody here really quick, and then I will show the screenshots. Actually, let me do this from the other side of the airport. Bonnie M was German. Bonnie, who's that? Name sounds familiar.
Bonnie M. Rasputin.
Thank you. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Vinnick. I had Oz sing, and I was trying to make Oz sing. I'm gonna do that more often now. Just kidding.
That's the one and only. I'm never doing that again.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think everybody did. 99 red balloons? No, that wasn't. Is that who you're talking about? Nina, right? 99. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Me too, man. That and several other female singers back then. All right, let me pull up these pictures real quick. We'll show them off, and then we'll find someone to raid tonight. Wow, y'all, tonight has been a really awesome stream. Oh, wow, Oz. These are amazing. Okay, yeah, let me sort out again how to share the screen really quick.
Sorry, I just pulled up quickly because I wanted to get to watch the stream and the POR.
Oh no, I think I would enjoy Phantom of the Opera also. Oh, I'll have to listen to Godfingers. I haven't heard that. Okay, so this is the lighthouse that we looked at earlier. Oops, wait, shoot, I hit the wrong freaking key. There we go. I hit the Windows key. So this is the lighthouse. Yeah, they did a pretty good job in the sim. Open in browser. Now this is the tree art, right?
Yeah, that's the wood art from the TV Islands. Yeah.
Oh, me too, Jeffrey. I will be there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Flight Sim Expo. Oh, more of the bird carvings. This is pretty cool. Wow. How old are these carvings? Are they like really old, or is this, you can buy these now?
No, they would be recent. You can.
So when you're visiting, you can buy them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I would imagine that they've got plenty for sale.
And then this is what we were just flying over, actually, with the drone. Downtown Darwin. Yeah, I enjoyed that. You know, it's really nice to talk about the old days, and I really enjoy doing that with the community. So it was really nice. Yeah, King Ken. Thank you, King Ken. Appreciate you being here. So this is the resort area.
That's the waterfront area, yeah, with the apartment buildings around it, and just the other side of that, you can see in front is that protected area.
Right. Nice. And this is a really cool picture right here. Did you take this picture, or is it just something you found online?
No, I just grabbed that quickly off Wikipedia, but I haven't been to Darwin in the wet. We went in dry season because we wanted to drive there. But that's a spectacular photo. I wish I had taken it.
Yeah, that is an amazing photo right there.
They really do get some spectacular lightning storms up in the territory during the wet season.
Oh, this is beautiful. Wait a minute. Wow.
Yeah, that's the night market on the beach. I think if I remember rightly, it's twice a week that they have that.
Wow. Very nice. Oz, thank you so much, man. I know a lot of times I forget to thank you at the end of stream because I'm so busy with everything else, but I really appreciate you taking your time to do all this. And once again, I really enjoyed, I enjoy streaming always, but whenever we can, talk about things that we all share in common and stuff, which we all share flight simming in common, but still, it's just really cool. So thank you everybody for being here. Let me run through, I always run through the activity feed and thank everyone for participating in the stream tonight, each night. So C130 Fly in Low, thank you for the follow. Mongo with 100 biddies, thank you for that. Kurt Deasy with 200 biddies, thank you for that. Q thank you for the 100 biddies. Wheels Up with a follow. Kazaki Flyer with the amazing raid, thank you so much, Kazaki Flyer. Har Saber with a follow. Kiwi Aussie with the follow also. Lumex 12 with a follow. Eric Flight with another amazing raid also, thank you, Eric, for the raid. Swarmulator, thank you for the follow. Nick Gressla with a follow. USA TF Jumper, thank you for the follow. Rad Baron 99, thank you for the follow. Chronico, thank you for the resub with the prime sub, thank you for that. Firefang with another amazing raid of 5 people, thank you so much, Firefang. Drunk Viking, thank you for the follow. Captain Wotan, thank you for the prime sub. Kev Sim Corner, thank you for the resub 13 months in a row. Bubba, thank you for the banned word, dadgummit. Sandman, thank you for the follow. Jimbo Fox with the follow. Y'all, thank you so much. Who are we gonna raid? There's some guy here. Oh, go ahead, Oz.
Just a quick thanks to everyone thanks for your company on the flight today. Thanks for all your questions in chat. It's been great, and we'll see you on the next flight.
Thank you. I think we'll raid this. I don't know how I got here. I know how I got here. I was lurking on DigiDriver and was gonna raid DigiDriver, but he has already raided someone else called Peerluck, Peerluk. So let's raid a new. I don't know who this is. Are you gonna fly some bush with Bill Mays? Nice. Let's raid Peerluck. I have raided Bill Mays a couple times, but I like to raid new people every now and then. So let's raid Peerluck. Did I type that in wrong? I typed it in wrong. Hang on. Peerluk. There we go. So y'all stick around for the raid, and once we get there, if you wanna leave, that's cool. But thank you again, everybody. It's really been a cool night. I appreciate just a nice chill fly. Getting to know more about y'all knowing more about me also. It's been a lot of fun. I wish you safe flying, tailwinds, and low turbulence and safe landings, everybody. I'm gonna head to bed. I gotta work tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. I will see you next. Oh wait, raid messages. Stick around. If you're a sub, this is your raid message. Here's your raid message if you're a sub. If you're not a sub, that's perfectly fine. Here's your raid message as well. Copy and paste these once we get over there. My next stream is gonna be Thursday of this week. Thursday night, we'll continue this tour in Australia. We'll have Oz back with us. Thank you, everybody. Let's get the raid started. Take care, everyone. Be safe. See you next time. Good night.